Welcome to The Hollywood Outsider, an award-winning entertainment podcast focusing on film and television. And this is a special episode of our show as this is our 10-year anniversary. We have been a podcast for a decade, officially a decade. And for this special episode, we are not doing anything like a normal episode. So if you've never listened to the show before, don't judge us by this episode. It's just us coming together, having fun. We couldn't even record it like we normally could because everybody are in different spots. So audio levels what they are. We did the best we could. We're just trying to have a great celebration of doing this thing that we love to do for the past decade. My name's Aaron Peterson. I'm your host. And for this episode, I will be joined by all remaining hosts from the past. Scott Clark, Brian Williams, Troy Heinritz, John Davenport, Amanda Sink. They are all here for this episode. And it is a great accomplishment for me personally, for them, for our listeners. I just want to say thank you for being here for this past decade. If you're new, if you're old, if you're in the middle, wherever you are in the mix, thank you for listening to The Hollywood Outsider. Thank you for supporting The Hollywood Outsider. Please continue to tell your friends about The Hollywood Outsider because that really does help get the show out there. And obviously, the way things have been with recent events, it's even harder to get out there because there's so many other new podcasts and new things in the fold. But we're still going after it. We're still trying to give the best podcast we can. And if you really enjoy this episode, you can hear the extended version on our Patreon channel, patreon.com/The Hollywood Outsider. The full 3-hour extended bonus cut is out on Patreon. You will only hear it there. This is still pretty hefty, though. You got a lot of podcasts here. And I don't want to spend any more time introducing it. I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of what this was. This is very much a celebration of The Hollywood Outsider and 10 years of doing this. And we talk about a lot of different things. Some from the past, some from just casual conversation, just having as much fun as we can as a group, as the whole group comes together. And also, we have a little game honoring Justin Macumber, who's our host that passed away. That's it. Let's get into it. This is the 10th anniversary of The Hollywood Outsider. All right, here. You ready? Thumbs up?
Ready.
Okay. Welcome to The Hollywood Outsider. And God damn it, dude. In 33 seconds.
Great timing.
Please tell me you got a soundboard ready.
Welcome to The Hollywood Outsider, an award-winning weekly entertainment podcast. In this episode, we are celebrating 10 years of The Hollywood Outsider, so let's get on with the show. I don't even know why I tried. My name is Aaron Peterson. Joining me today are my fellow hoes. In order of succession, I guess. Scott Clark.
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Peterson? How are you doing?
Good. These are original hoes, then we're going to work up to the current hoes, and then I don't know what the hell we're doing. Brian Williams.
Hey, what's happening?
Not much.
Glad
Santa
to be
Claus. Here. John Davenport.
Hey, everybody.
What's up,
Amanda Sink.
Hello.
And Troy Heinritz.
I'm the fresh one.
The fresh maker.
Not really. You've really been behind the scenes for years, so it's not like you're really new to
That
this
means
whole
you're
thing.
old.
Yeah. Old. If you've never listened to The Hollywood Outsider before, this is not like any other episode. We are just going to BS our way through this. This is just old friends coming together, and hopefully, if you've been a long-time listener, you're a newer listener, you kind of get why we've been around this long, because you hear some of the old bastards. Don't judge us based on this episode, because I promise none of this is a typical Hollywood Outsider episode. Or maybe I don't even know, but whatever. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing outstanding, man. How are you doing, Aaron?
That sounds so telegraphed. Tell me how you really are.
I'm great.
Okay. The undertone here is telling me that you're the exact opposite of great.
No, I'm good. I just got back from a little mini vacation. I went out to Portland to visit a buddy of mine. Got back in last night, and it's good to be back home, but I had a good time out there.
Did you have Taco Bell before you came back?
No, I did not have Taco Bell. I'm sorry.
Aw, no spicy Scott.
No, but
Whenever
it's fun.
he has Taco Bell, he just gets spicy.
It does something to me. I do
Yeah,
love me
it
some
does.
Taco Bell.
I mean, it does something
That's
to your
explosive
digestive
diarrhea.
system. Yeah, exactly.
I do not understand. I've never had any stomach issues with Taco Bell ever.
Me
And I eat
either.
about $16 worth of Taco Bell every time I go.
That's like
What is
400 burritos.
That's like, I was going to say, it's an entire Thanksgiving meal with Taco Bell, isn't it?
No, they don't have a dollar menu anymore, man. They
What?
figured out that people pay whatever for it. So
Was it like $1 and a
that's
quarter?
true.
now?
It's like $5 for a quesadilla, man.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
and cheese. There's a little bit of hyperbole there, but yeah, it's a bit spendier than what it used to be.
What the hell
that's
with
for
your
sure.
fancy words? You don't have time for that shit.
Look, I got to get the multi-syllabic words out now because within like an hour and a half, it might not happen.
Hour and a half. That's a little generous for yourself.
Yeah.
Have you been practicing, or are you still lightweight?
I've got
I'm going to hit all the syllables. They're just not going to be in the right order.
Right.
Hey, we're not doing anything. If you want a reminisce episode, go to 100, 200, 300, 400, I think were the title of those episodes. Feel free to listen to those. We are just going to basically just talk about the last decade. Some movie and TV stuff, some stuff that has nothing to do with it. Of course, we're going to reference Justin Macumber, who passed away. He was an original host, but he's no longer with us. And then we got a game in his name. That's how we're going to honor him. We got a game in Macumber's name, which he would love. He'd love that.
Oh,
And I brought
God.
chips.
And Amanda brought
Chips
chips,
must be-
apparently.
You have to eat on the podcast.
No, you don't. It's actually the worst
No.
thing you can do on a podcast. Literally the worst. Well, let's start with one thing. Let's make it easy. So what has been the most memorable? We're going to do a couple decade things, and then we're going to get into more of the fun stuff. What has been the most memorable TV series experience for you over the past decade, and why? Scott, you can lead this off.
Oh boy, that has been a loaded question that I pondered for quite a while, and I really wanted to say Ted Lasso, but I felt like I couldn't because I haven't seen the second season yet, and that's what we call an honorable mention. So what I landed on was a show that I actually just recently rewatched, and it sticks out to me. Even though I probably like Game of Thrones better, but the most memorable experience is The Leftovers, which, yes, is a Lindelof joint, and I kind of went into it expecting to be disappointed, and because of my experience with Lost, but this show kept me on the edge of my seat at the end of every episode as to what in the hell was going on, and the way that it wrapped up, although it was mildly ambiguous. It wasn't nearly as ambiguous as Lost was to me. Yes, Troy, I know they answer everything in all the episodes and blah, blah, blah. But, The Leftovers was done in a way that was satisfying, and, some of the most interesting characters and just crazy, insane moments. And I absolutely loved it. So The Leftovers got my vote.
Yeah, that was sarcasm.
Nice.
Troy Lost didn't answer shit. All right. So, who else? How about Brian? What about you?
Wow, the biggest TV moment I think it's if you know me, if you've listened to this at all, you know Game of Thrones is kind of the center of my TV universe. So I would probably say the beheading of Ned Stark. So yeah, that was just one of those.
Spoiler alert.
Well, at this point,
Okay.
yeah, I think we're outside the statute of limitations here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just, here's this guy. I mean, at the time, nobody really knew pretty much anybody else in there's a handful of characters, but for the most part, he was the main guy by far. And to kill him off before the season even ends was pretty much a big deal. And
In a
the way
ninth episode, yeah.
right.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
exactly. In the ninth episode, and they really leave you hanging. They gave you a shred of hope that maybe he made it out, maybe at the last second. You had to wait till a week later to find out for sure. But yeah, Ned Stark, Game of Thrones.
Johnny?
Yeah, that's actually a really powerful thing because that was something I was kind of bouncing back and forth with because I was going to say that same thing about the Game of Thrones. So but I knew Brian was going to be here and I didn't have to really get into it too much. So, although I do remember that scene being the thing that led me to be able to you need to watch this show because
Right.
look what they do to the main character, and that they'll end up watching it and being, so many of my friends started watching the show for that reason. But my show ended up actually being, Stranger Things. And I remember when that first trailer for Stranger Things came out, I was hooked from the trailer on. I I was ready to watch it. I knew it was going to be something good. It just seemed like it had that magic from the 80s that the show really is doing its damnedest to keep going for it. And I couldn't help but sit down and watch the entire thing in one sitting. It was just, and it's still something I look forward to every year when they release new seasons. But yeah, so my thing is Stranger Things.
Nice.
That's a good call, John. That's one of my greatest, one of my best, like, late Hollywood Outsider memories is doing those episodes with you.
Oh yeah.
Where we were doing, I think season 3 we did together, didn't we?
Yeah, we did the half-hour power hour.
Half-hour power hour. That was so much fun, man. I miss doing that with you.
Yeah, I miss doing it too.
We'll keep doing it.
Yeah, it's Patreon. Like, nobody stopped you other than the show's not out.
I you know how it works.
If I do any more podcasting, I get in trouble. So, but hit me up, John, for sure.
Yeah, no problem.
Hit his wife up first.
Scott's wife's like, look, 12 is your limit, you son of a bitch. After that, we're gonna fight.
What about you, Troyster? I just made that up. That's your new nickname. I don't care if you hate it.
I mean, Scott took mine in a way because Leftovers is freaking amazing, and I love the ending, and I really love, of course, my concept of what I think happened based on what the finale shows us.
I think your concept is pretty clear in that finale, by the way. We've talked about it, but it seems pretty clear that's what's going on.
That's what.
But the fact that you have to describe it as your concept of how it ends kind of pretty much says that there is no clear ending.
There isn't.
Yeah, it's not a show that was designed to ever give you an answer. It's really about the journey between these two characters that you see at the end when it does end. And I think that's just beautiful how it closes up with the two of them finding each other again. It was really amazing.
And Brian, I'm with you, man, because I'm one of those that did not enjoy the ending of Lost. And I'm not saying that to ruffle your feathers, Troy, or anything like that. We're not getting into it. But there's something about going into a show just with the realization that, look, some stuff's probably not going to be explained. And if you go into it with that mentality, it is a much better experience and just enjoy the ride. Like, dude, it's so good.
I'm with Brian 145%. Whatever the percentage is,
I haven't watched one episode of Lost. It was just, it doesn't, I mean, but I'm well aware of the ending. And if, I invest that amount of time in a series, I want it wrapped up. You have one, maybe 2 seasons. I'll give you an ambiguous ending. Actually, I'm on board with both of you guys for the record because I really love Leftovers as well. And I was okay with the ending. I would have liked something a little bit more defined, but
oh, sure.
I got it, you know.
Well, now I know that Brian's watched it. I will definitely clue you in on the concept that Scott and I have talked about.
Yes.
I think you're going to love it.
The concept.
All right.
But no, my show is actually Orphan Black. I thought was a really interesting take on
Great show.
The ability to do multiple characters with the same actress, and just the film quality and direction and lighting and the costume design in order to make Tatiana be all of these different people. It's just so stunning on how they're able to pull it off, because she was like the perfect actress to do these roles, because every single copy of her is so unique and so different.
Every variant, you might say.
Yeah, every variant, if you will. Sure.
You're Loki. I mean, Loco.
Trying to use, big syllables like Brian over there.
3 syllables. That's a lot.
For Brian, it is.
Hey,
For you.
It's 3 times more than I usually use.
But yeah, no, I think definitely with the way television is done today, I don't think there's any series in TV that's done the multiple person concept in a better way than Orphan Black did in the last decade.
Nice.
What
They
source is
truly
that on?
felt like all different characters.
It was a BBC show, but you may be able to get it on AMC, or I don't know if
I think it's on Amazon
Prime right now.
Prime.
Yeah, I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, no. All right.
I'm going with the Blacklist. I can't believe I'm saying it, not Troy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, TV experience the last decade. Tell me any other show you've gotten more from than the Blacklist, you dumbass. I don't even understand how it wasn't like on your top list, like how it did just fly out of your mouth. You got a whole, if you can't see it, if you're not watching on YouTube, but behind Troy, there's a bookcase and literally everything on it is Blacklist. And somehow that's not the one that pops out.
That show has meant nothing to him.
You know, screw the haters. Troy, props to, like, you know, coming out of left field with something different. Because I think
I was literally just following the rules. Like Scott mentioned Lost, I didn't. Aaron mentioned Blacklist, I didn't. I'm just following the rules here.
No, he means about your theory and how it seems to have come to fruition. Yeah, on the Blacklist. Yeah, about how Red Reddington was actually Liz's mom. Well,
wait,
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
That actually happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
What?
There's many people that still deny it, but I don't know how you can watch that season finale and deny it still.
Which should now tell you, Brian, that my leftovers concept is freaking awesome because I was able to call that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Scott, I watched the finale of The Blacklist as someone who hasn't watched since season 1, and it was very evident what that finale was alluding to.
I'm shocked because when I don't even watch the show, but I know of the show, and that idea just seemed completely ridiculous. And to hear that actually makes me smile. Do you think you had any influence on that, Troy?
Like they changed course?
Yeah,
No, I think it was part of the show. The reason this is I'm answering for him so he doesn't have to speak because I know Troy. He'll end up saying things that he shouldn't say. 'Cause, you know, some things we know we can't talk about. So. He just can't help himself. I very firmly, the seeds were planted, and my assumption is very much the reason that the showrunners and whatnot were very involved with us and the show is because he called that so early and so publicly.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's my opinion. He speaks to it. It comes across, there's too many more details coming there, and we got to keep him to a minimum.
All right.
So anyway, the Blacklist.
He throws his hands up.
So, as you were saying, Aaron, about the Blacklist and your big show for the last 10 years.
6 minutes into the show, there's actually a scene where Liz and Tom are in the kitchen, and Tom says, "Should we go to the Air and Space Museum or the zoo for the field trip committee?" And Liz says, "Go to the zoo. It's gender neutral." So literally, from 6 minutes in, they're talking about gender stuff.
This is feeling very spoilery now.
It's the first episode.
It's the very first episode.
I know, but you're referencing the finale of the most recent season.
Well, then people should hurry the hell up, is what I'm saying.
I thought you were saying they named the Space Museum after Aaron. I was excited for a second. The Air and Space Museum.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's a cool little
Troy
nod.
got a hospital in the show. He got Heinritz
cool
Psychiatric Hospital. But
so cool.
I got nothing. That's true, people. That's in the show.
There's some poetic action there, huh?
So if I could ever finish, the Blacklist is my pick for TV experience because we had the Blacklist Exposed podcast and that led to so many other avenues. You know, we've met the showrunner. We've talked to all the leads on the show, Jane Spader, Megan Boone. We were invited to the set for the 100th episode. We've been invited to LA we're on the DVD. We're an extra on the DVD where we actually recorded some of our theories. Troy's been actually on the DVDs twice. And you know, we hosted a panel a couple times in Chicago with them. So it's just been a bunch of stuff that I think we probably never thought would ever happen. And we've been able to do it. And that's all because of the Blacklist.
That's
mine
awesome.
is not as fun as all of that by any means. I'm not
all right. Way to bring down the room there, Amanda.
I know. Mine is also a Game of Thrones moment, but it's one I try to think about when I hear experience. I try to think about, okay, what was my environment like? What was the moment like? Sure. And when watching Game of Thrones with a group of other individuals, it kind of just changes the way you're viewing a TV show in general. But when everybody reacts to the same things, it makes all of those heightened moments even better. And so trying to take that with also a moment that I just really, really enjoyed was when Olenna Tyrell says, "Tell Cersei I want her to know it was me."
Mm-hmm.
And that boss bitch crown comes on her head. And I'm just like, queen. Yeah, I love that moment.
Oh, that is such a good moment, too. God, I didn't even consider that one, but yeah. But that show has got so many epic scenes and moments that, you could, just throw a dartboard, throw a dartboard, and you're going to,
I didn't realize we were supposed to do specific moments. I just did like a specific
however
series.
you defined it. It's however you defined it.
Yeah.
But I will say
that's how Aaron does a format. It's however you interpret what I want
Oh,
you to
so
talk about.
it's like
Until he
Lost.
doesn't like that
That's not true.
interpretation, and then
Yeah.
Yeah,
he comes
yeah,
out.
Until this
Jack.
is, y'all aren't doing anything that
I tell you exactly how it's got to be, and then none of you listen.
right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 5 people not listening.
Yeah, that believe it or
Yeah.
not, it
What's
happens
that
often.
justified quote about if there's
Yeah.
an asshole in the room and you run into them all day long? It's you who's the asshole. What is that?
I think that was it.
That's called touche, as Aaron would say.
All right, let's move on from this bitch. All right, so how about the most memorable film experience over the past decade? Hey, however you define it, Brian.
Oh, well, in that case, let me change it up. Actually, for me, it's the first Avengers movie. And mainly because as a comic book kid, geek growing up, before comic books and Marvel stuff and DC stuff was cool, I was a big Avengers fan. Still have probably hundreds of their comic books. But to watch this tremendously complicated plan unfold, right? Where it started with the Hulk. Everybody thinks Iron Man, but it actually started with the Hulk, Edward Norton. Just making this MCU all the way to the Avengers is an amazing achievement by itself, much less where it's been since then.
Right.
And when you factor in how many of these other cinematic universes have failed or been lackluster at best, including X-Men, Sony properties, Universal monsters, DC can't figure out what the hell they're doing. This is something that is just, it's never been done, and it's going to be hard to even duplicate it going forward. So Avengers 1 just left, that was the ultimate comic book fanboy movie that I think I've ever been a part of.
Good answer.
Yeah, great answer.
Next, anybody?
Scott?
I'll elaborate. Look, y'all don't. Somebody don't speak. I'm going to start
I'm
talking.
trying to be generous because usually I fuck up. So.
You do.
She speaks every time someone
She comes in
stops talking. Yeah.
Amanda comes
Yeah.
in throwing
Aaron,
elbows.
The first time to know that you have a problem is that you admit it. So good job for you.
Aaron, I need you to go before me because I'm worried that we might have the same one and I don't want to steal it from you. But I have
All right, here we
extras
go.
just in case.
I got mine. So here we go, and you won't have the same one. I promise
Okay.
you, because you weren't there. All right, so that's however I define it. As I said,
Oh Lord!
God damn it,
Here we
going to see American Animals at South by Southwest Film Festival, straight from the Westworld experience, where the whole Westworld town was set up, and Brian and I were drinking old fashions for about 5 hours. Completely, I don't know what's the
Golly,
play.
that's a good
Hammered,
moment.
smashed. We were rushing to get to the American Animals premiere. We had reservations and essentially...
You reservated it.
Yeah. We had to get there by a certain time. So we're running late because we spent too long drinking. So we are rushing to get there. We hail a bicycle cart. Was it a bicycle cart?
It was we were about halfway there, and the one of those they had the pedicabs.
I didn't say take the story over. I said, is it a bicycle?
The pedicabs. Yeah, but the pedicabs or whatever it is, they had rented out. They had bought out all the pedicabs for those areas. So you sit in the back and somebody pedals you there.
Exactly. And we just happened to be in the one that had the producers of the exact same film in it. And we're telling them we're running late, so they hurry us to the premiere. We get out. They invite us to the after party before we leave. I go up to the upper echelon of the seating, and we're watching the American Animals. The first half of the movie is great. Second half, I don't recall any of it. And then we went to the after party. So that whole thing was this wrapped up experience that is easily my number one in the past decade, because I don't think all that culmination of events would never happen at any other place in the world, at any other time in the world.
No, that's an amazing call, because that was an amazing, honestly, one of the best days of my life. Period.
It was
And-
fantastic.
And,
Was that when Aaron offered you up to Jamie Lannister for like a handy or something?
no, that was like the next day or something like that.
All right.
Yeah. Like, hey, this is one of your biggest fans. He would probably give you a hand job right here.
It was a blowjob. I think I
Or a blowjob. Okay. I stand
Even
corrected.
better.
I stand corrected. Yeah,
Wait,
that's
is
how
this
you want
the
to
same
make.
year that Brian busted into a theater and got like an entire 2 rows for himself?
No, this is the year
This is-
after.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's the year after.
Yeah, this is the year after. Yeah,
They
I had
thought
a
you were
whole.
staff.
Yeah, because they thought I was part of the. I actually did the sound check for the film, and not that I know what I was doing, but I faked the hell out of it. And they also reserved. Yeah, it was reserved a good number of seats just in case anybody showed up. And thank God nobody did.
You could just see Brian. Yeah, I think we need a little bit more bass in that.
You're lucky they didn't ask you to do a Q&A after or something.
No, they did, and I declined.
Oh.
I declined because they were asking
Film,
me.
but he didn't speak.
Yeah, it was a Croatian film, and they asked me the pronunciation of the director. It sounded close enough from.
With your southern accent, I'm sure it's perfect.
Yeah, y'all, that sounds good
In the theater.
in the theater. God, boy, these acoustics are great. So yeah, we've had some South by Southwest moments for sure, but that's a great thing because that was such a great day. We were at the Westworld thing way longer than we anticipated or planned on, and then those old fashions kept coming
longer than I think they wanted us there. Like I think they
Probably.
wanted us gone hours before, but
Well, there were still people there, but whatever. And they kept bringing drinks. So, and I did have to nudge you that second half of the movie quite a bit to wake you up because you were, not that I didn't want you sleeping, you were out, which is fine, but you were snoring.
sorry.
I've had
I
a
drank.
similar experience with Aaron when he's had too much to drink and he goes to a movie.
Oh yeah, after that Cobra Kai thing, right?
Yeah.
That was
Well,
fun,
it was at South by, but it was after you ran into what's his face who was in Cobra Kai.
Martin Cope. It was from the Cobra Kai party. That was right at the same place, and I got invited because I was doing the panel.
Oh, that's right.
And I hung
that's
out
right.
with those guys. I hung out with Johnny and Martin Cope, his sensei, and all that jive. And then I just got hammered. Old fashions again. That's a problem for me. Is what I think.
Yeah.
He was
I'm
so
seeing a
drunk,
theme
you
here.
guys. He gets so nice and friendly, and like he's across the room. He
Yeah.
puts his arms out, like "Hey!" Like he's gonna give you a hug.
Yeah,
or
until he
something, and
offers you up as a sex slave to somebody. So until he does a little bald man trafficking, whatever.
Did you or did you not get to shake his hand?
Yeah, but I didn't want to, it lead to something else.
It got where
Yeah,
it
you
got.
did.
Like,
That's all I'm saying.
would you
Yeah,
have
you
really
did.
said no?
I'm pretty sure I would have
You
said
waited.
no.
You waited. You hesitated. You had to
I'm
think
pretty
about it.
sure I would have said no.
That was
I'm not
longer than the
convinced.
usual
for
Brian
sure.
delay.
I mean, there's a non-zero chance that I might have went for it, but
That's like when
that's
your
still
wife.
very, 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 very small chances.
He was very uncomfortable, so it wasn't going to be.
Yeah,
awkward. I mean,
yeah, I know. I was sober enough to realize that. I was like, "Fuck, I don't know what he just told him, but it wasn't good."
It was. He came over and he shook his hand. He was laughing. He was laughing the whole time, though. He thought it was. He actually said it.
I don't remember it that way.
Yeah,
It's all,
I like to do some revisionist history. John, what about you? Favorite film moment? Or Scott? I'm sorry. We come back to Scott.
I got to follow that? Oh, God.
Good luck.
Well, I interpreted this question, most memorable film experience in that I got the most use out of this film in the last decade. And I seriously have seen this movie so many times, listened to the soundtrack so many times, and I've just gotten so much use out of it. And that's The Greatest Showman. I saw
that's a good
it
one.
in the theater, loved it. Wore a hole in the disc or the Spotify account or whatever. I don't know how to say that in the digital age. Listened to it so many times. We've watched that movie at least 15 times. Like it just never gets old. It just never gets old. And then on top of that, Aaron, we did a karaoke version of it at your house
Yeah.
where they
A musical party.
like a musical party. So we got to all sing along to it. It was so much fun. So just for sheer legs of a movie, I've gotten more use out of The Greatest Showman in the past 10 years than any others. But this was a very tough question to narrow it down. But that's what I ultimately landed on.
such a good call. and completely agree with you.
Mhm.
And the
John
music
does
still
too.
has not gotten old.
It really hasn't. There's even bands covering the entire soundtrack. There's like a whole album of bands doing it, and it doesn't sound as good, but it's just like everybody loves this movie. You know, controversial
Hugh Jackman
stuff.
literally went on tour for it.
Right.
Oh, we
his
saw that
concert
too.
was great. Yeah,
You
Brian
know-
and I and my wife went and saw that at Hugh Jackman live. I'm pretty sure I switched sides that night. I swear to God. Yeah. It was such a great,
Yeah.
great
So
Brian
you're
would have
saying-
said no there.
Nope. Nope.
There's a video, if you guys can find it on YouTube, or I can share it with you later, where they were practicing this. It was like
Oh,
right after
yeah.
Hugh Jackman had like mouth surgery or something. He wasn't supposed to be singing.
Nose. It was his nose.
Oh,
Yeah.
his nose, yeah.
Yep.
And then he just couldn't help himself with that, you know, From Now On song. And then just, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, because they just,
I am too. Yep.
like just how much joy there was on their face while they were filming this scene. Like,
it'll
I love
it'll
this
have
so
you in
much.
tear, like good tears, and
Mhm.
that one and the other one from Kiala Settle. Yeah, it's just they are both of those videos are. I've probably watched each of them a dozen times.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is like, you rarely find a musical that doesn't have a mediocre song on the soundtrack. Every song on that is outstanding. Like, it's just a AAA great song. I just love it
Agreed.
so much. So, Greatest Showman. If you haven't watched it, where have you been?
That's why Dear Evan Hansen's going to be so good in September, because it's the same guys that did the book.
Okay.
Are doing Dear Evan Hansen, so I'm excited for that one in September.
Nice. I know very little about that. I read the synopsis online, and I'm struggling to see that being a really cool story. I guess in context with the music, but I mean, he probably could have said the same thing about, you know, P.T. Barnum. So,
Who's next? John?
I'm gonna switch gears a little bit, because the way I interpreted this question was in a way of like the one that when I reflect on this last decade of movies, this is the one that I reflect on, I guess, the most, and that would actually have to be my viewing of It Follows with a few friends. The way this kind of works out is that the day we decided we're going to go see this, after I spent the whole week listening to a bunch of different podcasts, not this one, but a bunch of other podcasts saying that this is one of the greatest horror movies made in a long, long time.
Definitely
I was
not
like,
this one.
oh my God, this is going to be great. I can't wait to go see this movie then. And so I call up the theater and I'm like, hey guys, you guys have, because it didn't show up on the website, although it was like being listed on the movie's website, being shown at this theater. I'm like, hey, do you guys have It Follows? They're like, It Swallows. I was like, no, not It Swallows. Do you have It Follows? And they're like, yeah, we got that one. Yeah, that's what I thought you said. Okay. I was like, oh, should I come and get tickets early then? Just to make sure we can go see it. And they go, you'll be fine.
Oh,
That's not a good sign.
And I was like, okay, great. I don't have to worry about it, because I just let it happen. And then I went out to dinner with my friends, and we had a great time at dinner. And we're so excited to go see this movie. And we go to the theater, we sit down for this movie, and the first 5 minutes of that movie happens, and I went, oh shit. And it never stopped from that point on of me going, oh shit. Because the way like my friend group works is that you take everyone to a bad movie, you don't get to choose for a long time. And I didn't.
As you shouldn't.
Right.
I think it was a great movie, but I didn't think it was like terrible. Like it wasn't like bottom of the barrel. It wasn't like The Room or anything like that.
No, it wasn't awful. I mean, there's some cool ideas in there, but it's not one. I mean, if he made me go, I wouldn't let him pick for a while either.
Yeah. No, like the execution of it, like the acting is actually kind of great, but like the whole story itself was stupid.
I'm trying to remember, was it
my wife
sexually
talked me into The Green
transmitted?
Knight, and I said, no, we can't see anything you want again.
Which one is that? Old?
No, it just came
no,
out.
It just came out.
It just came out.
The Green
But it's
Knight
probably-
was not great. Yeah.
Hang on, let me check my watch. It's probably out of theaters by now.
It's so funny. I listened to your review of it today, and then I was scrolling through Facebook, and someone posted like what a great, fantastic movie it was. I was like, so some people like it.
It's a love it or hate it. It's a
Yes,
love
it
or hate
is.
Mm-hmm.
It goes
No in the
full A24. That's for sure. And not in their positive way.
All right, who's left? We got to get to other stuff.
I'll go.
All right.
This one's probably going to be the most controversial of the decade.
Oh, boy.
Oh, pulling the Scott Clark card, huh?
Yeah, I am. So
No, the Scott Clark card is the one. Like, I didn't actually see this movie, but I hear it's great.
But I did a lot of research on it.
that's true too.
Right.
I didn't read the comic, but I did a lot of research.
Right.
No, the one I'm thinking of is 8 of us 40-plus-year-old people went to go see The Last Jedi. And
I'm sorry.
it was interesting to like go through the experience of The Last Jedi and go like, where the hell is this going? And who's Ryan Johnson and all this other stuff. But when you have 8 people in a row and all bought into the fact that Luke Skywalker was there on the planet and then realized that he wasn't on the planet and then he dies, and just the pool of tears from 8 grown-ass men. I thought that was like, wow. It's almost like Catching the Hammer in Endgame kind of experience where you just have this like communal moment in the theater and you're like, this is why we go to the movies, because we go with our friends to have these shared experiences. And it was oh man, we were crying when we got out of the theater still. It was crazy.
Well, you were talking about that one being a controversial one, but The Last Jedi is a movie that I feel like gets better after subsequent viewings.
For sure.
Like I enjoy it more the more I watch it.
Especially when you go watch Rogue One and realize
Yes.
that in Rogue One, they tell you that hyperspace tracking is a thing that they were working on before the 4th movie. So when you see hyperspace tracking in The Last Jedi, all those people are like, you can't do that. Well, you're wrong, because they can't.
Because they made it in a later movie.
Does
When do they
logic matter? Does logic matter? Because that space chase literally lasts for like 3 days. Because he leaves, what is it? Finn goes off on a little casino heist and everything else, and he's doing all this while they're still chasing him. I'm like, how long are they chasing this ship that's literally right in front of them? That was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
But the Star Wars forced moments in that movie, I think, are just so good and so on point.
I love
I'm
that
sure
stuff.
when
Not
Fast
knocking that.
when
I'm
Fast
just
and the
saying-
Furious makes the longest runway possible, it's fine when Fast and the Furious does it. But when Star Wars
that
does
movie's
it,
supposed to be
Exactly.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't even know where I was going with that.
I'm just saying, if you're going to make the case that, well, yeah, it makes sense. Well, no, it doesn't. It's fictional and it's Star Wars. Nothing in there is based on science. Stop it. But that whole chase, it should have been over like roughly 45 minutes into the film. And it went on for like 2 hours. So that was ridiculous. That's all I'm saying. I still like it. I don't dislike it, but I just don't get it's one of the best ones argument.
I will say Rogue One is one of the best ones. I think I like that better than
Hands
all
down.
of the last 3 trilogy.
Hands down.
Mhm.
In recent times, yeah, that's one of my favorites. God, it's
So good.
Yeah. Yep.
I abstain from this argument. Amanda, what about you?
Mine is a South by Southwest experience as well. Just because of the entire experience, it really had not as much to do with the film itself. I did love the film, don't get me wrong. But after the film, they had a group of artists that were in the movie come out and do a surprise concert.
I remember this.
So, yes. So in Long Shot with Charlize Theron and Seth Rogen, after the movie was done,
I know.
yeah, they come out and Boys to Men surprises us with an impromptu concert right in front of us after, like during the Q&A. I mean, I literally got a rose handed to me from Boys to Men.
Chased down by you is what
Well,
I would say.
was at the front. I just made sure it happened. They were giving them out, but I will not even deny the
You
efforts that I
tackled him.
And he beat you with it.
Here's, I guess, from her version of events, like in her view, she was like just going to the front to try to get to the rose and hand it. Yes, they were handing them out. Absolutely. My line of sight was Amanda knocking down poor handicapped women.
That is not what happened.
Trying to
Throwing
do
bows
everything
left
she
and
can
right.
to get to the front of the line. No, it was
Look, I've
pretty
been
cool.
to enough concerts and,
She
weaseled
worked the
my way
line.
to the
She
front.
did work the line. Yeah,
I
she
know
got
how
to
to
the
do
front.
it.
She's like, I'm going to get a rose. And we were like 12, 13 rows back. I'm like, no, you're not. They're all piled up front. You're not going to get there. And sure enough, 13 seconds later, she's at the front and she's got a rose.
He made eye contact. I was like, oh gosh. So that was an amazing experience.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love me some Boys to Men, so I'm a little bit jealous about that.
Right?
Yeah.
It's South by Southwest. They know how to make it feel, it's more than just a film festival. It is so much more than that.
And Charlize is just as beautiful in person.
She's even more beautiful.
Remember that, Brian?
Yep.
We saw the Atomic Blonde?
Atomic Blonde, yeah.
And I'm like,
and,
God, she is gorgeous. And she was right there, and I did not know that she was right there. Or I did not know she could hear me.
Legs for days.
Oh.
We're all just thinking about it for a second.
Let's move on before this gets weird. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to see that on YouTube.
Just a moment of reflection. That's all.
What did you guys think about the fact that 10 years ago, we never thought we'd be sitting here watching brand new movies and TV shows in our homes, commercial free? And I mean that seriously, because I remember when we started the podcast, like, it's such a different world than it is now. Not just because there's a bazillion podcasts now, and there wasn't at the time. But, I mean, commercial free, watching all the shows you wanted, commercial free, being able to binge watch, being able to watch new content any day of the week and twice on Sunday, and you never run out of things. None of these things was a possibility at the time, 10 years ago. And now it's just insane. What do you guys think of that?
I figured it would be possible, but not possible legally.
Plex servers everywhere.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. I mean, it's just insane that we and even if we did conceive it as being a possibility, not on like how many different services we have. Like we all complained about paying for cable TV. You know, like just let me piecemeal it, and now we can piecemeal it, and we're paying probably just as much as we were for cable. You know, I got Netflix, Hulu, Disney, HBO, Amazon. You know, might as well have just got cable, but this way I don't have to watch commercials, which is nice.
No commercials, and also we're getting so much more content than we would have gotten on cable television, and more content that can be tailored to our likings.
Mm-hmm.
Cable television is, you know, very hit or miss, I feel like. But we have to keep in mind, Netflix was still, you know, reaching its peak back 10 years ago, but it was still just Netflix. There wasn't as much competition.
You were still ordering discs.
Discs were still available by mail, right? Do they even still do that anymore? I don't even
paid
know.
extra for 2 of them. I got 2 at a time.
Right. I got the big package. Woo-woo.
Yeah.
We got to hurry up and watch those so we can get the next ones.
I think I watched all of Battlestar Galactica that way.
Did you really?
God, you were just waiting for the next disc?
Yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you time it right after you finish one, you just pop it
Yeah,
back
that was
and
what I
then
tried
you
to
start
do.
working on the second
But there's
one.
only like 3 or 4 episodes on the disc, so
Yeah.
you know, my binging skills weren't quite what they are today.
It's pretty insane. And now we're fighting over, like, it's hard to even tell people what to watch anymore. Like, you can't recommend shows anymore.
Because whenever you recommend a show to anybody, they're always like, "I'll get to it, man. There's just so many other shows I got to watch right now."
so hard.
I'm 12 shows deep. So
it's funny because Brian and I have very similar tastes in terms of a lot of shows and TV. But whenever we recommend it, we both know we're not going to watch whatever the hell it is. Most likely because we got so much other stuff. So now he does this thing where he like does the extra sell, like he upsells. You know, he's like, hey, there's this thing that was like the most recent one, Mr. In Between.
Mr. In Between, yeah.
He's like, you gotta check this show out. Da da da. I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. He's like, it's only 30 minutes. Da da da. And then he just kept going. He's like, oh, this guy is great. This guy, like, he's going through little things that he does to beat people up or kill them or whatever. And he's like hitting all my sweet spots of stuff I like. And I'm like, all right. I mean, damn it. It sounds like I got to check this out. This sounds really good.
And you're on season 2.
So he didn't offer to buy you the first season on Blu-ray if you didn't like it?
Well, he doesn't have to anymore.
No, but it's look, I know that so many shows are 45 minutes or an hour long, whatever, basically nowadays. I'm like, look, it's like 25 minutes an episode. It's really tight. There's not a lot of fluff. Just, it's dark. It's a little dark. There's some darker humor, good action, quality, it's quality story. Yeah. So there's there's a little bit of, I mean, again, like he says, we have very similar tastes. We know each other like a book at this point. So it's like, I know these are the key points that he's going to like. So here, boom, 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 boom. Here you go. Do what you will, but fucking watch it.
What's funny is I'll take recommendations from all of you guys, like, sincerely. Whenever Troy does it, I always have to do real due diligence, though, because he will convince me to watch something, and then I'm just like, why did you think I'd watch this? He's like, no, wait until episode 412. That's when it gets good.
That's when it pays off.
And his shows are usually very heady shows. Like, they're not simple watches. I mean, they're not just where you can casually watch. It's always like, okay, I got to sit down with a pencil and a pad. What? Oh, I didn't need a calculator. Just trust me, you need one. Okay.
Charlie Day with the map behind you, all the screens.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Aaron. Don't you love Westworld? Like,
Yeah, I do love Westworld.
yeah,
but he was originally doing Westworld, and he convinced me to watch Westworld.
right. But I'm just saying, like that. You need paper and pencil for that freaking show.
I can
But you
do
can
like
only
one
do
at a
so
time.
many of those.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, exactly. I can only do like one at a time. It has to be very
Right.
spaced out.
My hard drive is only so big, folks. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm thankful
what
is
she
week to
said.
week. That's what I'm thankful is week to week, and I don't even have the option to binge a show like Westworld.
Yeah, me too.
Because you need a week to process that one.
You know, the thing that I found over this last decade that cracks me up is if I'm anywhere where I have to put up with commercials, I'll find a reason to not. I'd much rather read a book or do something else. But if and it could be whatever movie, it could be my favorite movie. As soon as the commercial comes on, I can be like, oh, fuck that, I'm out.
I refuse to watch a movie with commercials.
Yeah,
Yep.
I just can't. I really and then they upset me to a degree where I have to really focus on why is this making me so mad, and also like the whole idea.
He's actually angry at the television.
I
This
really
is not
do.
right.
He has to cope with his emotions and work it all
And
out.
why is this scene missing? What the
Right.
shit is this?
There's also that, but the fact that we all
I'm
for a
not a
long
child.
time would sit there and watch commercials, and then we'd be like, I really need to go buy a hamburger right now. Fuck, man. Why do I have to go buy a hamburger right now? And
I just ate an hour and a half ago. Why am I hungry?
right. It makes me so they're designed to be manipulative. That's what the whole industry is all about, is manipulating you into spending your money. I get it. However, it just makes me mad because none of it feels real to me. And I get so irritated at that. And
You
then,
can't even.
You see the man behind the curtain.
yeah. And then there was a string of shows as streaming got more and more popular that I remember watching, it was The Glades on AMC. It was AMC.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah,
A&E.
I like the show in general, but there was a whole 10 minutes of the show dedicated to how great the Hyundai Sonata was. You know, they were sitting in a Sonata. Oh, did you get this car recently? Yeah, I got it recently. Look, it has power windows and it has this and that. And I'm like, when did they turn the show into a commercial? And why? Or they did the same thing in freaking X-Files. X-Files, there's that whole thing about all the special all the features of the freaking Ford Flex car. Oh, look, it has this whole feature that lets us see aliens better. Why? So
You can't
Johnny,
even
tell
watch
us
a
how you really feel.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
You can't even watch a YouTube video without getting now 2 commercials. I've come so close to paying for the YouTube subscription just because it takes me 45 minutes to be able to even watch a video anymore. It makes me so angry that I start to mentally tell myself not to buy this product out of spite.
Or if they don't let you have the skip button.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just cruel.
skip
That's
ad.
rude.
Yeah.
So rude. Twitter's doing it now, too. If you want to watch someone's video that's on Twitter, you have to watch an advertisement halfway through the video. I'm like, man.
gotta
IMDb, you
make
can't
money
watch
somehow.
a trailer without watching 10 minutes of trailers or commercials before you watch a trailer on IMDb.
Well, IMDb TV is the same thing. I go to watch Leverage. I was like, I'm going to go rewatch Leverage, the original show, and there's commercials in it, and it's only 60 seconds, and I can't even make it that long. Remember when it used to be 3 minutes between a break? I can't do 30 seconds or
5
60
minutes.
seconds anymore.
It's crazy. I think some of the technology too, I think is really interesting when you think about the last 10 years, because we went from, the TiVo was in the height of its time, probably in 2011, 2012. And then there was the whole Aereo concept where Aereo was a repeater antenna that basically you put it up on an antenna in New York, and then they were able to stream over the air television to mobile devices. And then Aereo got shot down in court. But now look at Lowcast, and because Lowcast was actually sponsored by Sports Coalition Network, Lowcast is doing exactly what Aereo did, but somehow legally. So I just think it's interesting how the technology has worked to get us to a point where we can actually watch over-the-air television on our mobile devices. And then you combine that on the film side with the fact that most times the big three networks in television would never talk to each other. The movies studios would never talk to each other. And then you get a concept like Movies Anywhere shows up. And now I can literally buy stuff on Amazon, iTunes, Vudu, Fandango, whatever, and have it all stored in the central library. I never would have thought that would have happened 10 years ago.
You know, two other areas that I can see how much has progressed, and I never would have imagined this would be possible. I would never have imagined being able to download an episode or a movie from Netflix and watch it while I'm on the plane. Like, normally you'd have to bring your DVD and, like, go through the whole hassle of all that. You can just have your phone and watch it. And to that same note, I use my phone and watch Netflix, like, on my lunch break or whatever. Like, I can just, whenever, wherever, watch whatever I want. And that's just that instant accessibility is probably a problem, but I enjoy it.
Which is really funny because there was a commercial on TV for, like, European football where there was a guy that was so obsessed with watching football that he had, like, a TV in every room in his house so he wouldn't miss a second of it when he, like, went to go do his laundry or go to the bathroom. And now it's not even that. You just carry your phone around with you wherever you go.
Right.
And, yeah.
I mean, Scott literally has built a contraption for his bedroom where it's like over the headboard.
Oh, that's
so he can lay in
right.
bed and
No,
watch
I
the
sent
phone.
him something better than that.
Oh, did
unless
you?
unless it fell apart.
It was another one, right?
It was like a arm thing that you could attach to your bedpost or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then we got a new bed and it doesn't fit. So I it's too big of a headboard to hold the clamp anymore. I'll have to like fashion something to do it, but
This is the saddest thing I've ever heard of.
I've actually exercised more because I can actually watch the shows on my phone. So you can sit on a stationary bike or a treadmill and you can just watch your 44 minutes and then boom, you get a 44-minute workout in at the same time.
That's how I watched almost all of Leftovers the first time, was while I was on the treadmill. True story.
Exciting. Let's move on. All right. So Patreon is how
Thrilling information.
Funded. Therefore, all the expenses are from our own pockets. You can help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Hollywood Outsider. That's patreon.com/The Hollywood Outsider. Reviews and everything else are available at thehollywoodoutsiders.com. That's thehollywoodoutsiders.com. And our Twitter is at FryPopcorn. Now we're going back to a game from the olden days. This is from years and years and years. We haven't played this in forever. It kind of sparked into a whole new podcast called Remake This Movie Right. But before that, it was just recasting the classics, where we got to recast known roles with a new actor. So we're going to do that. What was the most popular franchise last decade? Marvel. People say it's a franchise. I don't think so. I think they're all different trilogies, but whatever. It's apparently a franchise. So we're each going to recast one Marvel character, and we each only get one Marvel character. And the reason for that is we don't want to be a 16-hour podcast. God damn it. You get one actor. You don't get three. You don't get honorable mentions. You pick one because we want to move on to other shit. Understood?
First of all,
Right.
that was not in the rules. I'm just going to let you know that.
That's not how I interpreted it.
Yeah, that's not how I interpreted it either.
Maybe not, but I promise you, Brian wants you to do that more than I do. All right.
He ain't lying.
All right. We get to recast one Marvel character. So we're starting with John. John, you get Thor.
All right.
Instead
So
of Chris Hemsworth. Who do you think?
right now,
tough
yeah,
one.
it's Chris Hemsworth, who's hard to beat at this point because all you really know of Thor is Chris Hemsworth. Like they're nearly the same person, and as time has gone on, he's just gotten better and better in the role. However, I went kind of a different direction than like the whole like super fit buff guy. Although he will eventually have to throw on some muscle on him, but I think David Harbour would be actually a really great choice because if you watch how the characters progress, he went from like the muscly, trim guy to the overweight guy. And I think David Harbour can pull off both pretty comfortably and well. And I think he has like the chops to be both, kind of serious, but also funny in his own way, which, Thor has to be a little bit like a fish out of water kind of thing. And I think David Harbour can do that in such a great fun and a somewhat frustrated way. Pretty interesting.
Did you only refer to Stranger Things for this podcast? I mean, that's...
He is in love with David Harbour, so there's that.
Yeah.
Is his, speaking of chops, is his jaw too big to be Thor?
No, it's actually
He has an extremely large jawline.
He has that Tango and Cash guy.
Yeah, the bad guy from Tango and Cash. Exactly. It's like, "Brrr."
That's because he killed Thanos and ripped Thanos' jaw off and put it on his own face.
Yeah. So just curious, I mean, when your jaw sticks out further than your winged helmet does, it's,
well, when he's got a beard going, he's fine.
fair enough. Yeah, it's a good looking beard. He does have a good looking beard. So
John, when you first said David Harbour, I kind of went, huh? But the more I thought about it and the way you described it, I could kind of see that a little bit. I don't have any problem with his jaw.
Especially after you see Black Widow, for sure.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, so.
Well, isn't part of the character like he's a little
he is Thor
fluffy?
in Black Widow, yes.
Yes.
Well, I haven't
He's Fat
seen
Thor.
Black Widow
He's
yet.
Fat
so.
Thor years later. Is that wrong? I don't know.
Oh,
Yes,
Steel
that's
Feats.
wrong.
Oh, broop, broop, broop. Woke
Yeah.
alert. Oh, can't say that.
Yep. All right,
I
Scott.
was like, what is he whooping for?
He always whoop whoops.
That's the WAP police.
Scott, you've got Iron Man.
Oh my goodness!
Did you say WAP police?
Yes, he did.
I said WAP police.
Oh, that's not what I
He
heard.
said, wow,
Because-
like,
Because
wet ass.
at least 3 of us heard WAP police, but
I was just
I
going to
was
let
like,
you guys hear
wow,
whatever you heard,
Brian.
but
I'm in the middle of watching Gamora on HBO Max about the Italian, mob scene. So that's what I heard. It could just be me. Just saying.
No, it wasn't just you.
All right.
Oh, Scott, Iron Man George. Who would you recast?
Ooh.
How would you replace Robert Downey Jr.?
It's
Tough one.
almost impossible. This is very, very difficult, but I needed someone with some swagger and some comedic chops at the same time. After some long consideration, I landed on Timothy Oliphant. My only worry is I think he might be a little too old, but I still like it.
I think he's grizzled enough right now. Probably that gray he's got
God.
going on. I could see it.
I kind of like that. But you know what? Now that you mention that, God, could he be cast as Reed Richards for the Fantastic Four?
Ooh,
Mm.
maybe a little too old for that one. But I'd be
Reed's got the gray,
Yeah.
historically in the comics, he's got the gray sideburn
the
stuff.
little
kind of
finger
Doctor
thing.
Strange looking stuff. But
Can he wear a cowboy hat? Can that happen?
Yes.
yeah, can he arrest people?
Lord, please.
I thought you meant could he pull off wearing a cowboy hat? I was like, duh.
I kind of like that.
Yeah?
I recently rewatched The Girl Next Door, and he plays kind of like the quote unquote villain in that. And if you look at that character from that movie and Iron Man, it actually could work pretty well.
Yeah.
I could see it. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Amanda, you've got Captain America. Or is it America now? I don't know.
America's ass. Yes.
You got to salute when you do that.
Does that mean that his
America's
ass has to
ass.
come in, like, whoever you cast has to have a really nice ass to work in this part? Is that
They
As
better
if I
do
didn't
some
think
squats.
about that. Yeah. Come on now. Captain America is like the top of the top. I think we all understand Chris Evans is irreplaceable, but he's gone, so we should think about it anyway.
Okay.
My pick is John Krasinski. I have enjoyed him in all of the roles that he's played, especially the ones that have the military component to it. He feels like a hero. He feels like he's soft and courageous. He comes across as strong, but also sensitive, which is the way I've always seen Captain America as. So I think he would be a great Captain America.
God, that's a good call.
Yeah.
He almost
I'm
got
on
the
board.
role.
He did. He
Really?
lost to Chris Evans.
Yeah, he lost
Yeah,
to Chris Evans.
There's actually a whole
Doesn't have
story
the
where he
same
was.
ass.
Yeah, there's a whole story where he was putting on the Captain America costume, and Chris Hemsworth walked in on him like half naked. That he was telling a story on Graham Norton.
Really?
So yeah,
How do I make that happen in my life?
Chris Hemsworth walking
Bye,
on you.
Vinny.
You start,
Well,
13
that
rows
too,
back
but
from
I
the
was-
stage,
I
and you
was
just
thinking
push
of
your way
walking in on
through,
Chris
and they
Evans.
just have to have roses, and you're all set.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Do a little rap
That's-
song.
But seeing him in that Benghazi movie is that's the guy that I can see, because he really plays both sides of it. He plays the you see the heart in him as the family man in that movie, but also the hardened warrior that he is, that he needs to be to be Captain America.
Does the more or less the same thing in Jack Ryan as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say that as well. Mm-hmm.
Well, Brian, you get the hardest one. Sorry, man, because your guy actually died.
Bruh,
Black
did this
Panther.
in 3 seconds.
Ooh.
That's the story of your life. Go ahead for it.
Yeah, that 3 seconds covers a lot of different areas in my life. John David Washington. He's the protagonist in Tenet. He's he's honestly, obviously at this stage, he's just about perfect. He's age appropriate. He's very physical. He's proven he can do the action scenes. He's got an intensity that T'Challa has to have. I don't know how you could say anybody else, to be honest.
He's got a little Hollywood nepotism with him.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's a quality actor as well. Mm-hmm. So he brings some solid acting chops to the role. Not just, well, this guy's got muscles and he can, he looks pretty and he can, whatever. We'll just stand him in front of the camera. We'll put a CGI mask on him occasionally and boom, Bob's your uncle. But no, he's a quality actor, and he just hits all the check boxes.
I'm pretty sure he'd get disowned if he wasn't a quality actor from his father, Denzel.
Yeah.
Kick him out of the house. You're not part of this family no more.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
So yeah, this actually was pretty, for me, it was pretty easy. Like, I wasn't crazy about Tenet. Maybe Troy's got a pretty good, concept theory thing that I'm missing out on. I'm willing to listen to it, but because Troy's got Troy, his brain is amazing, and I've always loved doing the recast remake this movie.
How many drinks are we in, Brian? How many drinks are we deep right now?
It's a stream of thought. It's a stream of thought. So I haven't. Look, I haven't disappeared yet.
My brain, I don't know. Do I have to go on hand jobs now or something? Is that what we're at?
It's blow jobs, Troy, not hand jobs.
And yes, those are welcome. So, yeah, if you got some kind of crazy theory about that, that's great. But otherwise, I wasn't very pleased with that movie.
Good call.
But I was impressed with his acting.
I get Captain Marvel, which is probably the easiest one because I don't like the casting of Captain Marvel. That's Brie Larson. I'm not a fan. So my pick is you need somebody strong, assertive, compassionate, forthright, powerful. I think Yvonne Strahovski, who you might not hear the name and go, who? But she's in Handmaid's Tale. She was in The Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt. She played his daughter. Spoiler alert. She was in 24 Live Another Day. She was in Chuck. She's been in a ton of things. She's proven her action ability. She's proven her dramatic skills. She's proven everything that needs to be proven. And she's extremely charismatic, which I think Captain Marvel is sorely lacking at this point. So there you go. That's my pick.
That's a really good call.
That is an amazing call.
That movie was so much fun, by the way.
There are still petitions to this day to bring 24 back with her as the lead.
Yep. As there should be. I would watch that tomorrow.
Amazing.
Troy, last one. You get Black Widow.
Black Widow, which I feel is kind of a difficult choice because there's actually a movie out right now that stars ScarJo. And
if you don't get this right, she'll sue you.
I know, that's what I was just going to say, because if I pick the wrong person, I might be, having her come after me and my family. But I was thinking for Black Widow, if we were to redo this, I would lean towards Jessica Biel, because she has that kind of gruff, action-y kind of facade to her. And, ScarJo does really great in the role, and it's just a bunch of action scenes. But I think Jessica would bring a little bit more of the dramatic quality to it, especially when you get towards the end game, because I think you'd get a little bit more flavor of the downtrodden and distraught capability that she was facing after the snap. So I think Jessica Biel would be a good backup plan if we needed to go that route.
It's good. I like that.
I like that a lot.
She really surprised me in The Sinner. Like I was
The
not
Sinner
a
is really
Jessica
good.
Biel
She's really
fan
good.
until that. Yeah. All right, now we're getting into some different stuff. We're trying to shake it up a little bit. Now these aren't meant to be really long, lengthy things, but each person gets the opportunity to ask any question on any topic. It can be targeted to a person or the group as a whole, however they want to do it. As ridiculous as you want, as much fun as you want. I say get as crazy as you like. Troy, you go first.
Sweet. So this one is for all. Since we did remake this movie right as a sister, brother, stepchild of this particular podcast.
Kissing cousin.
There you go. Classic. Like these are movies that you'll watch all the time. So if you had to pick one of these three to remake today for a modern audience, completely brand new, which of these three would you choose between? Goonies, Back to the Future, or Ferris Bueller? Amanda, go.
Definitely not Back to the Future. There's no way I could ever see that being remade and done better. I would say Ferris Bueller. I feel like that's the easiest one to remake for the modern audience without taking too much away from the original.
Duly noted. Amanda does not like challenges. Okay, Scott.
Part of me wants to say Back to the Future just because to me that movie already is perfect, and I just want to see what somebody would do with it. But I also worry that it might tarnish my original. I don't know. So I'm going to say Goonies because I remember listening to that episode and thinking the one that you guys came up with was pretty good. I know that one is considered timeless, and it kind of is to some degree, but I think there's things that they could make better with that one.
Sure.
So I'll say Goonies.
I'm going to say that Ferris Bueller does not need a remake just because like there's no way you can remake it and beat what you did the first time around. Back to the Future, same thing. It's kind of like, with the exception of Back to the Future's nearly perfect movie, the way it is, and you can't, that's like lightning striking in a bottle.
Oh,
Goonies.
Lightning. Got it. Got it.
Completely unintended, but got it.
So Goonies would be the one that I would like to see a remake done, just because no one would even consider touching it at this point. But I would also say that we're seeing so many things that are popping up from the 80s and 90s as far as being used as a backdrop that why not try it and then expand on that story and make something completely different. That's why I'm going to say Goonies.
Yeah, I can't follow. There was way too much a movie about kids, and all I heard was nobody should touch it and popping up, and everything just felt inappropriate, and I just didn't like it at all. So I'm going to move it past what John said.
Dear God.
Oh my goodness.
But I will tell you, the one that needs to be remade is Ferris Bueller, because there's a literal pedophile connecting the dots in that movie, and I would prefer
That's
to have
true.
it redone. So
Wait, what?
The principal is a literal
Jeffrey
pedophile.
Jones was literally a pedophile.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like still in jail for child.
Oh, you mean the actual actor?
yeah.
Oh, I thought
But
you
it's
meant in the
in a-
movie. Okay.
he's
No,
in a movie
it wasn't a,
He's in a movie chasing down kids, and literally I know that he's a pedophile. So
literally
I'm just like,
chasing down kids.
it's a different
Yeah,
movie now.
I was with Scott. I'm like, did I misremember part of the movie?
That's what I thought you were talking about. I was like,
He touched him 9 times.
Is this some Reddit like fan theory thing
Yeah, right.
that I'm missing out on?
That guy was living in Sarasota for a little while because his mom was living in Sarasota, and I was working at a cell phone store right next to a Starbucks, and I'm sitting there and I'm standing outside smoking a cigarette, and I look over towards the Starbucks, and there he is walking his sorry ass to his like Toyota Corolla.
Jeffrey Jones?
Yeah,
Oh, he was down to a Toyota Corolla, huh?
he was down to a Toyota Corolla. He looked like he was dragged through 10 miles of bad road. It was rough.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, I say.
Brian, last one.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go with Back to the Future, because I think that with the advancements in science nowadays, we've got stuff that we didn't know about in 84, 85, wormholes and all sorts of different theories and stuff. I think you could kind of play with that a lot more. And golly, the producers these days, I mean, you got people like Kevin Feige.
Easy
for
for
Marvel.
you to say.
No, it's not. And you know, they're playing 4D chess right now with what the stuff, you know, like all the kind of things that they're setting up right now that they're playing. Like we're seeing, okay, well, we know this movie's coming out, possibly setting up 2 or 3 others. They're thinking like 6 or 7 down the chain and sideways. So you could completely do that with the Back to the Future franchise. So yeah, I would say, yeah, but without getting too much more nuts about it, Back to the Future, 100%. I will take that challenge, Troy. Bring it on.
You and your squeaky ass chair, your sex chair. All right, Amanda,
Look,
what about
you fucking sound Nazi? Just
Amanda? What about you?
What about
What's
me
your
for
question?
what? Oh, okay.
It's your turn. Or Detroit, did you want to say anything else? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
I
want
was
to.
No,
gonna
no,
say-
I'm all good. All good.
Well, Troy, aren't you going to answer?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I think I've already done 2 of these, haven't I?
Yeah,
I
we
do-
were on the Goonies and we were on Ferris Bueller, right? Did we do Ferris Bueller? Yeah, on Remake This Movie
Okay,
Right.
but which one do you actually want to be remade?
I really liked our Goonies remake. I thought that was a really great idea, and it's totally something that could be made very easily, probably even low budget, so we could actually see it actually happen. So I would do Goonies in a heartbeat.
All right, you guys get on it. Make it happen. So my question is kind of 3-part.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm just segmenting it to the
Hang
to
on.
the right.
I literally am out of a drink right now. Do I need to refill before we go? Like, what do we got here?
Okay, so my question for Scott and Brian, it's all about the podcast, but I have to rephrase it for different people. For
Okay.
Scott and Brian, have
Okay.
you ever regretted your decision to leave the podcast?
no.
Oh, come on. Brad's like, no.
Wait,
Next.
so
What else you
taking a
got?
shot to the mouth from Jamie Lannister, he has to think about leaving the podcast? No thought whatsoever.
Nope.
Facts. No. It was a decision that was honestly, it was the best. I had to make the decision at that time in my life with just other personal stuff going on. It's not that I didn't love the podcast or the people that I was doing it with. It was simply that I knew, for me, it was a decision. I knew I wasn't bringing what I used to bring prior to that. And it was about the betterment of the podcast. Every decision I've made in regards to bits, adding something, deleting something, whatever the case is, has always been podcast first, me or the others second. So
Okay.
for me, it was, I knew I wasn't putting the effort into it that I had done prior. I just had too many other distractions going on and other issues going on at the time. And I just knew it was, for me at the time, it was just better if I stepped away and focused on other stuff. So.
What
Also,
about
I
you,
do regret it. I had to step back because of obligations as well. I went back to school, and doing that, while trying to juggle 2 podcasts just became difficult. I had to let something go. But I do regret it because, number one, I don't watch nearly as many movies anymore. Not that, I mean, yeah, I did feel obligated, to watch the new movies all the time, to keep up with the current events and I just don't anymore. I feel like I'm out of the loop. You made a reference earlier, like they totally A24'd that movie or whatever. I have no idea what that means. You know what I mean? Like I don't, that's where the regret comes from, is missing out on some really great movies. I feel like most of the stuff that I watch now is television, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I'm watching things, like rewatching things, like it's something to watch before I go to bed instead of actively watching something. So I kind of miss that because a lot of my energy is going towards actively playing games to review them instead of movies. And unfortunately, those take a lot more hours than a movie does. But I miss the conversations of films and television shows. I really do, and I miss we went like every weekend. I feel like I actually don't even have the gold list. Was it at AMC now? A-list.
Mm-hmm.
I had to pause my A-list because I'm not using it. Whereas before it was like an every weekend thing, and I kind of missed that. but just time gets in the way. So, I mean, when I say I regret it, I don't mean it like it's just this horrible decision. I just miss it. And I miss the opportunities that the podcast offered as well. Like things like, I've never been to South by Southwest because it always was
you miss out on some shit there. Let me tell you.
Yeah. But even outside of that, just like we went to WizardCon together, right?
Yeah.
Aaron,
that was fun.
that was like one of the I think that was the first press thing I ever did, where I actually I was a member of the press, and that kind of stuff feels cool. And getting to meet people and see people and be part of the process, or at least be close to the process, are the things that I miss the most. Not to mention hanging out with you guys on a weekly basis.
You know what's funny, Scott? This is a true story. I literally remember I was watching. It's a show on Apple. It's called Home Before Dark, right? I don't know if anybody has ever watched that, but it's about a 9-year-old wannabe journalist. She's great kid. It's a great show to watch. But at one point, her dad makes her like a little press badge and gives it to her, and she acts like her eyes light up and she acts like she's on cloud 9. And I literally thought of that. I just thought of WizardCon. Like I just thought about the first time when I got a press badge. I'm like, that's so awesome. Or South by or anything else. Just like I know that feeling that kid has. I mean, I had it even as a grown ass adult.
There's a picture somewhere on Facebook of you and I holding our wrists together with the little press like wristband thing that we got. We're like Wonder Twins unite. It was good times.
So my question for John is, what made you decide to stick around? What made you decide to not like these assholes?
Hey, you guys keep the conversation going. My drink is low. I'll be right back.
Let me tell you how I interpreted that question, Amanda.
Oh, how did you interpret it? I didn't mean it mean.
Jesus Christ.
No, I just meant because you guys left and he didn't.
Why did you stay?
Oh, that's not how I meant it. Johnny knows that, I hope.
Well, the thing about this, I came into the show as Brian was taking his step back. And, the thing about starting this show up is that I got the ability to spend every week bonding with two people who became two of my favorite people to have a conversation with. And, that was Scott and Aaron at the time. And it was the three of us for quite a while. And, for a long time, I was able to gauge where my week was because, I'd start off the week, it's Monday, and then it'd be Tuesday, and we'd sit down, we record, and then the next day would be kind of like riding that high of being able to put that creative energy out into the world that we get to do every single week, and I get to live off of that sense of, there's a sense of empowerment. There's a sense of inspiration that I get from it just because I know that there's people out there who are feeling inspired by the things we say and do. And a lot of that was what kept me going for quite a while. It has been a challenge, especially recently because, of my recent, whether it's temporary or not move that I've made, I don't know yet, because my access to a lot of media has dwindled to whatever I can either beg, borrow, or steal, versus being able to have a movie theater within a 10-minute drive from my house, or access to great internet to be able to download something that would be worth watching. There's a lot of different things that kind of,
I don't have the worst internet.
Yes, Brian historically has the worst, most frustrating internet.
100.
So, even with this challenge right now, which I was faced with a decision of whether or not I was going to stick with the show, and ultimately I thought it was more important for me and my own mental health to keep with the show versus walking away from something that gives me at least a little bit of all those feelings that I talked about, empowerment and inspiration and all those things. And the chance to sit down with some of my favorite people and have a conversation about movies is always something that I like.
Aw, we love you, Johnny.
Shut up.
I am happy you decided to stay. I hope I didn't come across mean when I was like, what are you still doing here?
No, you're fine.
No, yeah, I mean, I am as well. And it's, you are one of my favorite people as well. So it's, I'm glad to hear you sticking around for it, and good on you, man. Keep it up.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm just glad you're here because I can finally leave.
You just got here.
After 2 weeks? I can finally tap
leave
out.
after 2 weeks. Oh,
So Troy, that actually
I learned from Amanda. I don't commit
Troy's
to
like,
anything.
I'm tapping out. Tapping out.
Troy, that leads me to my question for you, which is what made you want to be officially part of the Hollywood Outsider?
Blacklist ended, and I was gonna miss talking to Aaron every week, so I figured
Oh
I
my
had to just
gosh.
keep coming back and giving him shit.
Say
every
whatever.
single-
Yeah,
That's
I'll slum it for a little while till something else pops up.
Exactly.
I think it's deeper than that, Brian. He's like, I miss
I know
Aaron.
it. He does.
I mean, no, we were filling in for John because John was, taking a little sabbatical, and it's just like I didn't have any other podcasting to do, and I haven't not had a podcast to do probably since 2013. So it just felt weird to not do a podcast. So I was like, I got time. I got an A-list membership. I can totally do this. And so, yeah, now I'm doing this. And I think what's really great about it is that it's going to give me a chance to get into more writing because I've never been a real big writer before. So I think what this will allow me to do is just open up that portfolio into something new in my next chapter of life. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, that's cool.
You've been a great addition to the show, man.
Thanks. I mean, I've been around. I've been,
Yeah,
occasionally
he's
shows me
been
up 4
here.
times.
That's why
Yeah,
it's
he's-
officially.
Right.
You know what I meant. You know what I meant.
Yeah. And because I can do this, I don't have to come back to the Packers show. So Scott can keep doing that. That's great.
Well, that reminds
Well-
me, Scott, are you ever mad that you didn't get a goodbye episode because we didn't know what you were going to do, if you were going to stay gone or come back or whatever? Are you mad you didn't get one? Are you hurt?
No, I didn't remember we didn't do it. No, I didn't even
He's
remember that
pissed
didn't
off
happen.
now, damn it.
Yeah, now that you bring it up, let's do it
Well-
right now.
I mean, he was like, I don't know, it could be temporary, it could be, I don't know, doing the Scott thing that Scott does. He's like, I don't want to commit 100% to leaving and just leaving completely, so I'm just going to ease on out of here. I'm going to just like slink out a little bit.
And then it
Well,
was like
it was-
3 months later, and it's like, do you do a goodbye episode if he's been gone for like 3 months? Or
Exactly.
Well, it was, we didn't know if you were going to who was going to fill the void. And I didn't want to like leave you hanging. I wanted to make myself available if there was nobody else, but you found better replacements. So it all worked out in the end.
let's not say better.
No,
And
let's
Troy-
say better.
Troy
Better's a
joined.
good. Better. Better is a fitting word. Just kidding.
More better.
Mo
The
better.
goodest.
The gooder.
goodest.
That's
Amanda,
right.
did you have anything
much,
else? or you
Much
good?
more gooder.
Well, my last question is for you, Aaron, because I've been asking them, did they regret their decision to leave?
Oh.
And
Oh,
What
I
made
feel
them
like somebody's
stay?
being set up.
I know.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yep.
My drink is refilled.
Jeez.
good. So
Are
my
you
question
glad that so and so's gone, or
No. So my question for you, Aaron, is as the man who has the only person who's still here 10 years later officially, have you thought
by
about
contract?
Fucking quitters.
leaving this, quitting it, and I'm sure you have. So what's made you continue doing the Hollywood Outsider? What keeps you going?
Me, 100% me, because he's the one. Anytime he wanted to quit, he'd always, I hate this thing. I'm getting out of here. I'm done.
Troy, lower your ego right now.
And I'm like,
It's
no, man, you
impossible.
love it. You love it. You totally want to
It's
do it.
obviously John. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's everybody, really. It's yes, I think about it all the time. Usually every episode at least once. No, when
4
I edit-
times this episode alone.
Yeah.
Right?
when I edit, yes, some definitely every time. I think that's a really good question. Why do I enjoy the community and the things that we get to do because of it. So I love doing the podcast, absolutely, and I love the community because I love when it's not as much right now because a lot of people aren't talking about movies as much right now just because of everything going on. It's been a rough year and a half. I'm not gonna lie there. Numbers show it. But it's definitely something where I enjoy feedback and people, I like what you said on this show. I hated what you said on this episode. I really am glad this happened or that happened or somebody did this or somebody. I just enjoy that interaction and especially just the things that it's led to. I mean, Hollywood Outsiders, what led to doing the Blacklist? It's what led to doing South by Southwest Film Festival. It's what led to we're doing Fantasia Film Festival coming up. We've done Sundance
Beloit
stuff.
or whatever, however you pronounce that.
Beloit, yep, we're board of
Beloit.
directors members
We're
now
on
too.
board,
Yeah.
the board of directors for Beloit International Film Festival. It's all because
Street-
of the Hollywood
Street
Outsider.
cred for the Cobra Kai in front of all those people at C2E2.
Moderated the Cobra Cobra Kai panel.
Cobra
on
Kai.
that, too.
Yeah. How many have you had?
This is number 2, but I made them strong. And it's so I mean it's everything. It's
opened up.
culmination.
It's opened up doors that never would have opened up otherwise.
And I'm really bad at promoting myself, which in turn includes the Hollywood Outsider, which is another reason why, I think everybody else in the team is a great benefit, because I'm too modest. I really am too modest, and I know it's a fault of mine. I have a hard time promoting myself. I just don't like to do it. So I make sure to I'm surrounding myself with people that are much better at it. So
Like Scott and
that's
myself.
making me excited. Yes. I mean, Troy is a whore, and
Yes, he is.
it's good.
Yes, he is.
I mean, I can't do it.
Shameless.
It's the yang to your yin.
I can't do it. I wish to God I could. I just don't have that. I don't know why. I just can't do it. And he's great at it. So, I mean, and John is an excellent visual editor, and he's a, what do you call yourself? Visual artist? Is that what's your official title?
Loser.
Oh,
No.
Jesus Christ. No, he's a beautiful artist, and he's helped.
Illustrator is what I am.
Okay. He's an illustrator. He's helped tremendously with stuff that I just couldn't do. I mean, instead of stealing pictures off the internet for the website, John actually helps create stuff, which is nice and actually looks professional and makes us, not look bad. And Amanda she's like a bull in a china shop when she's trying to get something done, which is great help. The reason I'm on the board of directors is because Amanda made me, basically. So, these are all compliments. Scott and Brian, they've added nothing because they left, so fuck them. But everybody else, great benefits.
And aren't you going to get a chance to be a podcast movement here coming up?
Well, that changed. So
This is awkward.
Yeah, this is awkward. Yes, I had the opportunity, but because of the stupid COVID, and I've got an Alaska trip with Brian literally next week, it's not worth the risk to me.
No.
So Troy is actually taking my place.
Okay. All right.
So we're not missing that, and I'm really hoping Troy at least finds a way to work the Hollywood Outsider in there somewhere. And I know if anybody can, it'll be him.
Troy, be the whoriest whore you could possibly be.
Oh, I will, because we're doing it with a guy that we actually beat to win the award. So we're going to make sure that
John's
gets rubbed in a couple
BFF.
times.
Yeah. Which the whole story of this happening is great, because if it wasn't for me negging them to be on to get Kevin on our show, to get for a guest spot, and then Kevin having both Aaron and I on their show, and
Kevin
then now
Flynn,
you're
Law
going
and
to
Order.
be.
Kevin Flynn from the Law and Order podcast.
These are
Yeah,
their
Kevin-
stories.
These are their
Yeah,
stories.
these are their stories, which is one of my when I do listen to podcasts, is one of my favorite ones, just because Kevin and oh my god, I'm forgetting
That
her
one
name.
person.
Rebecca Lavoie.
Rebecca are. If they hear this, I'm so sorry, Rebecca. You have wonderful hair. You're beautiful.
You're
woman.
a shitty human.
It's just great because they've gotten all three of us just because of this show, and it's been fun.
So the real story, so for Kevin and Rebecca, we're going to the award ceremony that night, and all I'm doing in the car the entire ride over there is singing the theme song to their podcast.
It's true.
And Aaron is like, shut the hell up. You're going to give them the good juju. Stop it.
Yeah, we were up for an award, and Troy's like, well, the only ones that are going to beat us, because that's how Troy thinks. I'm like, there's literally 8 people in this category. They're all going to beat us. What are you talking about? And he's like, no. The only ones that are going to beat us are, these are their stories. They're going to beat us. And he's playing the song, and he loves it. He's like, the production's great. These guys are great. They're going to win. And then we
He's
won.
pimping them.
Yeah. I mean, so much he convinced me we had no shot. Like, he convinced me we had no shot. And they didn't win. So it's been funny. But yeah, John basically said, hey, how would you like to be on with the people that beat you? And that worked. But yeah,
it was a 5-second email, right? I had sent the email, had Aaron copied in on it, and then 5 seconds later, as I'm telling Aaron what I did, the reply already came in, and Aaron goes, he just replied.
That's funny. Small world. But yeah, Brian and I are going to a cruise. It's on my bucket list to go to Alaska. Brian worked this out like a year ago, and of course, we've got Delta or Spirit or United, whatever the hell the variant is right now. And It's causing a lot of. We have to
I thought it
make
was
sure.
talking about the airline you were taking to get there.
It's as shitty of a variant as those airlines.
Exactly.
Right.
So even though I am vaccinated and I advocate, I say do it. You make your own choice though. It's your body, your choice. I didn't want to take any chances whatsoever, so Troy's going to take my spot, and because he doesn't have a crew, so he's like, let's roll the dice, let's go crazy, and I couldn't do it.
I was already in Tennessee for 14 days, so why not go back? Who cares?
There you go.
I already got it.
So thankfully, I wouldn't have bailed on it though. I would not have. I felt bad. I still feel really bad about it, but
I can attest to his guilty feelings. So, yeah, he's been going back and forth on this for quite a while.
yeah.
Well, then I shouldn't tell
Aaron
him that.
doesn't just bail on something. I think
No, I
that's
don't.
what at least all of us here know, is that he doesn't just say, I'm not going to do this because I'm not feeling it. It's got to be really serious to not do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, then he'll feel real bad.
And
because
cost him
I
a
got-
lot of money.
I got upgraded to first class for my flight tomorrow morning.
Good. I hope you're delayed.
Fuck you.
I hope they reroute you on JetBlue or something where you sit in the very, very back.
Chicago to Nashville. I hope they reroute you through Europe.
You're gonna be on a very like cool panel though. It's gonna be you, Kevin, Patrick from.
Patrick
Oh,
canceled.
Patrick canceled.
What?
Patrick bitched. I'm sorry, Patrick, if you're listening, but he kind of bitched out. He's not going, but I'm sure he's probably worried about.
Why did he
Well, he
bitch
just
out?
did a live
You didn't
show
bitch
for-
out.
Yeah.
Yep, I didn't bitch out. I had a replacement. I wouldn't have if Troy couldn't have done it. I would have been there because that's what you do with a helmet
Right.
on, whatever you need, man. Hazmat suit, layer up. It's like a midwinter. We should probably move on before CDC is calling. All right, Brian,
Yeah.
you got a game. You get to
I
do
got a
whatever-
game.
Whatever you want, if you're still coherent enough to do it. you have a game.
No, absolutely. Oh, dude, I'm golden. All right, so we're going to do this. There's no winner per se, right?
Sounds like a great game.
There's always a winner.
Sounds like
All right. Of course,
2021.
Amanda, you win, but whatever.
Everybody's
So-
got a trophy.
All right. So this is a collective achievement here. All right.
Ooh,
Okay.
co-op.
This is what's
Going
the
on
Steve
forever.
Harvey? What's the family? It's a Family Feud style type of question.
Oh, so
Buzz in
we're
or
working
something?
together?
Yeah, all five of you are working, or six of you, five of you are working together.
He's drunk. He can't
Because that
count to
hasn't
five.
happened in 10
He's-
years.
he's
Why is it
counting
gonna start
himself.
now.
Yeah, I saw the 6 panels and I counted myself. Shut up, John.
What I win? I win, right? I won, right?
You won. I thought Amanda was going to win, but you
No,
win.
I win. You already said I won.
All right. So we're just going back to the last 10 years, right? 2011. What are, according to y'all's neck of the woods, the Chicago Tribune, what are the top 10 flops of the last 10 years as far as movies go? Now, I will tell you, this is budget versus worldwide gross, not domestic gross. All right.
So we just gotta throw movies out and hope we get it right. Okay.
There's 6
John
of them.
Carter. John
I
Carter.
was just about to say John.
That was my
Carter.
first one, yeah.
Negative.
Really?
Not
R.I.P.D.
not in the top 6.
R.I.P.D.
What's that? R.I.P.D.
R.I.P.D.
is number 5. All right,
I
Troy,
got
give me one. Aaron, shut up. Troy,
How many
give me
years? How many years back?
10
years.
How old is this podcast?
Scott's Googling. That's not fair.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
Googling. I had one in my mind that was before 10 years ago, so
All
I wanted
right.
to make sure.
What are you going? What's your
Rocky
thought?
and Bullwinkle.
Negative. John, give me something.
Shit. Well, John Carter was one of mine. Was the one I came up with first.
Now there's I'll give you I'll stall a little bit to give you a little time to think. For instance, all right, 47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves is a historically bad as far as money goes, flop. It was in 2013.
Mhm.
Its budget was $175 million. The domestic intake was $38 million.
Oof.
Oof.
But worldwide, it was like 150, 152,
Yep.
something like that, right? So it really wasn't as bad of a flop as what, by their
press.
standards, yeah, they lost money, but losing 20 million versus some of these up to 123 million, it wasn't that bad. So But
What about G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra?
negative. Not on the not on the top. Not in the top 6.
Monster Trucks.
Monster Trucks is number 4 on the list. That Monster Trucks, the budget was 128. The worldwide gross was only 63, so it lost $65 million.
How about Battlefield Earth?
That was way longer than 10
That
years
was
ago.
2001 or something. That's not in the last 10
Was
years.
it? All right.
Yeah, that was.
What,
That's
Escape
way
from
old.
Escape from which mountain?
Negative. Not on the list. Nope.
It's a fun
I
game.
will say there are 2 or 3 animated movies.
Oh God, I'll never
Emojis.
This will probably be
The Emoji Movie.
the emoji.
There's anywhere from 3 to say 5 comic book character actors.
Green Lantern. Green Lantern.
Negative.
What? That was not. Well, I guess
This
it
might be
$100
right
million.
outside the cusp, but what about Mars Needs Moms?
Mars Needs Moms is number 1.
Troy's googling.
100.
Troy's fucking. He didn't
he's
respond.
very.
Troy's
he's,
googling. Troy's
He's very
googling.
consistent. He is oddly consistent. 2011. Its
Nobody
budget
comes
was
up with that mom bullshit. Bullshit.
right. No. 167 million. Its worldwide gross was 44 million.
It was released.
Yeah, look at this. Yeah,
He's
Googling.
Googling.
Yeah. All right, Troy. shut
Nobody
the
else is
fuck
getting a right
up.
answer. I'm trying to get
You
So
son of a
it's 4
bitch.
hours.
So the Emoji Movie wasn't on there?
No, it was not.
That surprises me.
I
I'm trying
will-
to think of-
I look just to speed it along a little bit.
Pixels?
How?
I wonder if
Nope.
would Raya and the Last Dragon
Nope.
be on there? Because
Nope.
I mean, it would
Nope.
cost a fortune,
Nope.
but it
Nope.
was.
Whatever
It
your
made
justification
the money
is,
for-
it's still not on the top 10,
Okay.
top
Made it
6
for Disney
list.
Plus.
Tenet.
Negative. No.
It should be. It's like 200 million and only made 47.
I will tell you this. An actor that played Batman is in one of these movies. Again, this is top 6 biggest flops. Worldwide
Terminator
gross.
Salvation.
Nope.
Terminator
no
Dark.
idea.
Not that old.
Any of the Terminator movies. Daredevil. No.
No,
That's way over.
no, again, 10 years old.
Yeah, yeah,
2011
I got it.
and newer.
Argo.
Don't-
Shh.
No.
There's no way Argo was a flop.
No, Argo was
Played
actually, that was a good movie.
So Ben Affleck or Christian Bale. Christian Bale is hardly ever in a flop. So I don't know. Brian, your squeaky chair is giving me creepy things. Let me see. I got nothing. I'm really because apparently what I would base it on is not the accuracy because it's not Batman versus Superman.
But
That still made it
the animated movie thing is what's making me thinking it should be narrowed down.
Maybe
Like what?
Justice League. Maybe Justice League. No.
Nope.
No.
Justice League is not it.
The Killing Joke.
Nope. No. I will say that there's no like I don't know the term for it, but like the specific DC. I mean, we're talking like a nationally made movie, not a direct to video like the
Right.
Killing Joke or something for the DC.
Okay.
What was the
You know,
name of that one
DC actually
animated movie?
makes quality animated movies,
That's true.
but they're not
There's a-
national. They're not released to the theaters.
What about that one animated movie that had like the tall woman, like the giant woman in it with like a couple other monsters? What is the name of that one? Is that in there?
The what's her
I like
name?
giants,
The Princess
sci-fi
Diaries
giants.
chick. The Princess Diaries chick. Catwoman girl. What's her name?
Oh, where she was with the Godzilla type thing.
Is that the
Oh
one
no,
you're
not
talking-
that one. No, I'm talking about an animated one. You're thinking about. I know which one you're thinking about. No, not that one. That's the one with Jason Sudeikis and Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. Right. No, not that one. That one's not it.
What's
No,
the
there's
Taylor Kish movie? Not John Carter, but the other one, the ship. Battleship.
Battleship.
No.
Battleship's not on there? Blade Runner 2049?
Nope.
That made money, didn't it?
No.
No.
It wasn't a hit. I feel like this game is dragging on, Brian. Why don't you just name
All
them
right.
off?
So I'm all right.
Promise
so,
to be one.
Oh,
Open
Jesus.
season.
I mean, apparently Troy just Googled the fucking source that I just. And he's apparently reading down the list. So, all right.
Hang on, Cats.
I mean, you
Cats.
did
Is
say
Cats
it.
on there?
No, Cats
No,
is not it.
God, it should be. It just should
So,
be.
anyway,
it was,
all right.
it was easy. It was like Chicago Tribune, bad movies that didn't make it.
Yeah.
First link.
So, So all right. So we we mentioned Mars Needs Moms is number 1. The Promise with Christian Bale is number 2 from 2017. Its budget was $92 million. The worldwide gross was $11 million.
Which one was that?
The Promise with Christian Bale.
Yeah.
What about that shitty Hellboy movie?
No. You've been gone the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Shh. We're playing the game.
Just read the list.
Number 3 was Missing Link from 2019.
Oh, yeah.
20,000.
That looked like garbage.
2019. And so budget was 102. It only made $26 million worldwide.
Wait, year one. I'm still thinking of him. Year one, is that on there?
This is the longest game in history.
Oh, okay.
It lost $76 million. Monster Trucks we mentioned. RIPD we mentioned. The last one, number 6, was from 2015 with Thor, Chris Hemsworth, Black Hat.
Oh, that sucked.
Its budget was $74 million, which is a solid budget. Yeah. It only made worldwide $21 million for a loss of $53 million. I mean, that's proportionately speaking, that's probably one of the worst losses of all time.
That's David Harbour's Thor money right there.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's Brian's game. John, we're moving on to
Brian and Troy's game, apparently.
I pay
You should have
attention.
said
I listen when you
Chicago
talk,
Tribune.
Brian.
Ask any question, John. Any question.
All right, so this one's open to absolutely anybody, but this is my question. So, you got Patreon, you got Kickstarter, you've got GoFundMe, YouTube, Vimeo, OnlyFans, and with technology being what it is today, which is it's just getting easier and easier for, movies to be made in mom and pop locations in someone's garage. You can do all sorts of crazy things with drones and come up with something. How long do you think it'll take before we start seeing like big name directors start just relying on fans for funding to make movies?
I believe that happened. It was called the Veronica Mars movie.
He said big name directors. He said big name.
But I have a problem with the mentality behind all of that because fans.
All right, let's change it though. Mainstream directors.
Okay.
But isn't that also what Legion M is doing as far as having you buy stock in the company?
Kind of.
But they don't have any mainstream directors, and I don't think they ever will. They kind of got a junk platform. That's my opinion.
So what I was going to say is I don't think that this is going to be a big thing because using Troy's example of the Veronica Mars movie, fans get very entitled. I mean, they're already really entitled to begin with, but they've gotten entitled to the point of I gave you my money to make the movie I wanted or the TV show I wanted. And so this mob action or reaction, when they don't get what they want and they've paid for it, they've made the investment. I don't think big time directors are going to be willing to take that, especially because they want it to be their vision. And if they can get the money anyway, they'll just obtain the money and not have to worry about the reaction of being, this wasn't what we said we wanted. And it was our money that funded it.
Yeah, but they already have their money at that point. So what are they going to do? Just not go to their next movie?
I mean, in terms of some of the reactions to this is what you owe me, for Veronica Mars, they've literally tried to get Rob Thomas to be removed from Veronica Mars as the director, even though he was the creator. So fans are getting very, very extra. And they're willing to do whatever it takes to try to remove somebody and recuse them of their position if they don't get what they want and they put the money towards it.
I see what you're saying.
Which was evident with Veronica Mars specifically because when the rewards came out and we were all given digital copies, it was very specifically written in the contract terms that you would be getting this movie on Flickster, and people just lost their shit. And they were like, why isn't it on iTunes? Why isn't it on Amazon? And they just berated the site for days to get the way they wanted. And finally, they caved in and gave it to everybody on iTunes, even though it specifically said you're not getting it on iTunes.
I don't feel sorry for people on that, but
I mean, I don't.
I ain't got
either.
pity for you, bitches.
I feel like, because coming from the video game world, there's a lot of crowdfunded video games, and I don't see a lot of the stuff that you're talking about. I wonder if it's different with the movie industry. My bigger concern there is the rewards that you're talking about. Again, Veronica Mars is not, it's obviously very, very well known, but I think what John is asking for more mainstream type actors or directors, excuse me. And, for a big mainstream movie. So if you get a digital copy out there, that movie is going to get out in the hands of a lot more people than you want it to be out. And I think that's a big reason why we are still like ways away from that until that kind of gets locked down with something that's not, DRM, because people hate that. But I don't know. I feel like it's a lot easier to pirate a movie than it is to pirate.
I would say, 5 years ago I would have said it never happened, but nowadays, I can see Steven Soderbergh, I think, would do it in a heartbeat. He just seems like he's willing to try different things. He's always willing to try different kinds of filmmaking approaches. I don't think you'll ever see a Spielberg or a Nolan or anybody like that do crowdfunding kind of films. But I can see more. Danny Boyle, somebody like that. I could see doing it to make the movie they want to make, for sure. Yeah, you know what? I'll say 5 years. That's my answer, John. 5 years. I think for 5 years you'll see that from a fairly well-known director, not Spielberg level, but well-known, like a David Lowery type.
I like it.
I mean, part of the problem you have is that if they're well-known mainstream directors, do they need the crowdfunding?
Right.
You know what I mean?
They can secure it other ways.
If they've got the name recognition, if they've had enough bombs, sure. But if they've got enough name recognition, they've got
Night Shyamalan should be crowdfunding like a mofo.
That's exactly what I was thinking, because he's been financing his own movies for the last 10 years or 5 years, whatever it is. So he could get the movies made that he wanted to make. So even though when I don't like his movies, I always give him credit. I respect him because at least he's doing what he can to make his own thing. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you're doing whatever you can to make the vision that you've got, instead of being altered by the suits, 100 mad respect. However, you still better make something entertaining.
Right.
But that totally supports the Amanda theory, because a month ago I would have given M. Night Shyamalan money to make a movie, and if he would have made Old with my money, I would have literally gone to his house and burnt it down.
Easy. Now if his house burns down, yes,
hypothetically, yeah, this isn't real. I think the other thing is, I don't know that many. Well, I shouldn't say that because there are some really stupid people out in the world. But like
Troy, he just told his whole plan to burn down M. Night Shyamalan's house.
Any director with a lawyer who reviews contracts is going to be very wary of saying, yeah, we could get this funding somewhere else, but let's get it from people that you have to sign a contract with. Essentially, that's what Kickstarter is. And when you make that agreement, I would say, here's what I would say in response to John's question. If that becomes a thing, I bet you that it will only be a matter of under 5 years before someone tries to sue that creator for making something that they believe was not the intention of the contract. They would say, you gave me a different movie than what I paid you for, or you gave me something that I didn't pay for, so they're going to sue you for breaching that contract or something, or misrepresenting what you said you were going to give them. Yeah. And it's just going to be a whole thing, because people are just so entitled to art and entertainment that they genuinely feel like You owe me.
You owe me, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the audience. I pay your salary. And if I'm literally paying for your movie, and then I'm going to tell my friends to join your Kickstarter, and they're going to give you their own money to start this, then it better be what I want. And what
but they're wrong.
You're going to give me.
Yeah, they are wrong.
I don't disagree with you,
yeah,
Scott.
They're definitely wrong. But
I'm just saying there's some there's some dumbass people out in the world.
Man, I've met some mad-ass people.
Yeah, there are some mad. Yeah, those like circles kind of overlap a little bit.
They do. It's like those little Venn diagrams, and then the crazy people are in the middle.
That's a very good point, though.
To most of what you're saying, I actually agree with you, but at the same time, like, the thing that I think is interesting is technically people who go to the movies now can sit there and be like, well, that's not what I paid for. And they, they can choose to go after somebody for the same reasons, but they would be equally as wrong, only it's just a lot more obvious at that point.
Sure.
I think there would come a time where maybe the filmmaker presents the original concept and they make an alteration to it that then changes the contract, the agreement between the person who paid the money through Kickstarter and what the director actually put out, and somebody will sue over it. I genuinely believe somebody is
They won't have a
stupid enough
case.
to try.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
Let's move on. I got it. Sue, don't sue. Justin Macumber. That's what we're moving on to. We're playing our Justin Macumber game. Justin Macumber, would he love it or hate it? That's the game we're playing. So I'm going to name... Who's eating chips? God damn it. God damn it. That's for long-time listeners. All right, I'm going to name 3 movies, and we're going to debate if Justin Macumber, former host of the Hollywood Outsider, who sadly passed away of health issues, if he would have loved it or hated it. If you did listen when Justin was on, he was notorious for either loving or hating a movie. It was very hard to get him in the middle. So these are going to be movies that I want you guys to determine.
it was either a 20 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10.
Exactly.
Rated 5.
Exactly.
If you say something with Star Wars, it's a 15 out of 10.
Yeah,
At
there's no
least.
easy ones here.
1500.
There's no Zack Snyder's Justice League, Rise of Skywalker, Avengers Endgame. None of those are here, so you can just forget about it. It's not going to happen. But I will give you an easy one. This one doesn't count. This is just one to get the game rolling because I think this one will be smooth. Justin Macumber, love it or hate it. Godzilla vs. Kong.
Love it.
Love it.
Love
He
it.
would absolutely love it. It would tick every single one of his boxes. It would be something
Okay.
imaginative and different. It would be something from his childhood.
It's not
It would
about
be-
you, John.
Yeah, we don't
I
need
was
to
going
book
to
a
say,
report,
John,
John.
are you talking from your heart right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, not about
Yeah.
you. Okay, that's the warm-up. So now we get serious, all right? So here we go. Love it or hate it, Justin Macumber. Love it or hate it. First movie, Six Underground. Michael Bay's Six Underground on Netflix.
Hated it.
Hate it, I'm going to say.
I
Is
didn't see it. That
hate
was the one that was
or
like,
love? I mean, yeah.
Hate or love. Got to be hate or love.
All right,
I
go
feel
ahead,
like he would
Scott.
shit on it in some way.
no, I feel like he would love it. I haven't seen it, but I heard you guys talk about it on the show. This is the one that's like just
There's a
super
Scott
over the
we
top.
love.
Shut up. It's like over the top action and vulgarity, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Which immediately makes me think that he would love it, but he didn't love Kingsman. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
That seemed like such a
Like,
Justin
right up his
Macumber
alley.
movie.
Yeah.
And he hated that movie.
But
So,
but Kingsman
he
is
likes the
way
Michael
more
Bay.
clever than that movie, though. So, golly, that's that's a tough one because I can see him doing both of them.
Yeah, I could too.
Yeah. I'm gonna say love it because he would
Yeah.
he would have loved the fact that he didn't have to go anywhere to go see it, and he would be able to eat whatever he wanted and get as high as he
Yeah.
wanted as he watched it.
That's a really great point,
There's
John. You
that.
just sold me.
Yeah.
You sold me on that.
Yep.
10-4. Yep, love it.
Okay, so 3 loved it, 2 hated it. All right, so loved it. He would have loved it. All right, next one. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Well, he would have hated that.
He would have just
Yeah,
made fun of
hate.
it for a very long
Totally.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would-
Yeah,
Yeah,
he would have said
hate
a
it.
few good things about it, but the general tone would have been hate. Yep.
And he would laugh about it, I think.
Okay. All right, well, this is the last one. I hope this is the hardest one. Joker.
oh, he would have
Oh,
loved
he
it.
would have loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, love. No, I think it was cerebral enough that it tickled his.
Taint.
Yeah, that's actually where his brain is, and you've got the pictures on your phone to justify that. So,
justify
Wait,
that.
what?
He's joking, Amanda. It's a joke.
yeah.
You know what? I'm not convinced.
I'm not convinced you know what jokes are.
So yeah, I would say love. I would say he would. Yeah, it's a. You got to think enough about the movie. I think it's right up his alley.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's our game. Scott, any
Yes, sir.
question? Any question?
I kept my question movie related. I had an interesting one, at least I thought it was. I would like to know from each of you, if you could go back in time and actually spend time on the set of any film or television show to see it being produced, what show would you choose and why? Either movie or television show. I'm going to start with Troy.
That's a no-brainer. Lost.
Lost, yeah, I kind of figured as much.
Just
because
like hanging out at the beach.
because it's also in Hawaii, and Hawaii is gorgeous and beautiful, so it's a twofer.
It's a good call. Amanda?
That's really tough.
I like that one. That's good.
I would probably spend some time on the Harry Potter set.
Okay. Any one in particular, or just any?
Oh,
God, that's a good one. Got to be
Prisoner
something in
of
Hogwarts,
Azkaban.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
something kind of primarily in
Aren't they always at Hogwarts? That's like goddamn series, man.
They at least started
Well, I
from
mean,
there, but I think he means like,
the first-
movie takes place at Hogwarts. Love that one.
no,
I like the one
but like
they do leave.
I like the one that I like the one that has Hermione in
occasionally,
it.
But sure. I hate all of you.
fast movie with the cars. That's the best one. Love that one.
I like to go fast stuff.
So one of the Harry Potter movies that you're gonna go with? All right, John. How about you, sir?
I'm gonna have to say the set of How I Met Your Mother while they were still producing that.
That's
would
a
be,
good answer.
That would be a great time. I would just to watch those actors make that, because it seemed like they were such a family, especially by the end of the series. It was on TV for 9 years, but it would just seem like such a great time, and everything that happened on that show is just a good time.
Nice,
Ooh,
Brian.
the Dark Knight would be good.
Oh, honestly, wow. That's, similar to the same reasons that John just mentioned, but Friends. I think that those people are just so close at this, especially still at this point, and to see them back in that time, just interacting with each other and everything just going on with I just think being part of watching the Friends, watching all of them being filmed live, I think would be amazing.
All right, and Aaron.
The Crow, and I just tell Brandon Lee, Duck! No.
That's not bad. I mean,
That's not bad, but that's not what I'm going to do.
would have saved
Did
all
we
of
lose
us some
Scott?
heartache.
Scott dropped out of his chair.
You sit there and be like, "Hey, Brandon, let me do impression for you." Caw, bang, fuck, I'm dead.
Oh, geez,
wow.
that's dark.
John, you went too far. All right, so
It's in the movie.
yes, and you still went too far. So I would go,
Still too
honestly,
soon.
honest answer, From Dusk Till Dawn. That's my answer.
Oh,
It has
of
George
Selma.
Because it
Clooney.
has Selma.
Salma
Well,
Hayek
hang
at
on.
her sexiest.
Can I explain?
know the real reason,
Can I
Aaron.
explain my
And it
reasons?
has-
No, you don't need to
No.
explain it
No.
because there's only one explanation that matters, and that's
No, there's two.
Salma Hayek
there's two.
at her.
Her titties.
No,
And her
seriously,
titties.
there is more explanation. George Clooney at his absolute best. I think that's the best role he's ever had, in my opinion. I think he was fantastic in it. Tarantino is a star and the writer of that movie. So I could talk to him about his writing approach and his filmmaking approach and just him in general and his nonsensical weird self.
Giant head.
Robert Rodriguez, his giant head. Robert Rodriguez. And then, of course, Salma Hayek. Yes, of course. And Harvey Keitel. Like, it's everything I
I'm
love
surprised
about
you didn't
movies.
choose Rear Window.
Yeah. No, not Rear Window. I would pick From Dusk Till Dawn because it has so much of what I
Because it
love
has
about
Salma Hayek.
modern film, and it has that snake scene, and I would see it live! Live!
Can you do it over, Quentin? Just one more time from the top, please. Just one more time from the top.
I promise
Can we get
you,
that?
I would be the guy in the back going, is she done? Oh, we got to redo the take. God damn it. I'm so sorry, Selma. We're going to have back on the back.
He
here,
throws
get
a
new
paper
snake.
airplane
Do
at
it.
the very end, so that way they have to redo it.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you ever
Let's
seen my
reset.
impression of a snake? Here you go. I'm going to try this. Let me slither around you a little bit. Is that
Oh,
offensive?
No.
Reset.
You went
Reset.
too
Let's
far,
do it
Aaron.
over.
I might have went too far on that, but
You
it's
did.
you get my point. I just wanted to be there. It seems like a great set. And Robert Rodriguez, too. Yeah, if I didn't say that.
Good answers, guys. For me, I would, I know it's low hanging fruit, but I would love to go back to the set of Back to the Future. I recently watched the Movies That Made Us episode on Netflix on Back to the Future, and I knew the whole Eric Stoltz thing, but I didn't know it as nearly as much detail.
Oh, man,
I want to
he
go
did
back.
a lot of that movie.
That's what I'm saying. I want to go back and watch and see how close those scenes that they shot with him were, because you see like just a couple shots of him in that series, and it's like dead on. But I want to see how much the rest of the movie was dead on to what they did with Michael J. Fox and how different it was. So
see, here's where this is the difference between Scott and I, because I want to go back in time and go to after the movie came out and then follow Eric Stoltz. Like,
I do too. That's what I thought he was going to say. And I was laughing because I was like, I want to see his reaction.
I want to see how he felt knowing he lost Back to the Future, one of the greatest films of all time. And this guy just crushed you. You got replaced and got crushed.
yeah. Well, apparently he didn't realize it was a comedy from what they said in the
Maybe he's just not funny. Maybe that's
maybe that too. But I'm also going to say, if I could go back and see a TV show, I have a weird answer, and I'm saying it because it's a weird answer. I want to go back and watch Mork and Mindy. Bear with me. Seeing, yeah, I know it's a silly show, but watching Robin Williams,
I can see that,
improvise, and like I've heard that watching him do stuff when he was on that show, like he would like mess with the audience and just do all kinds of crazy stuff that like nobody saw. Like I would want to be on that set just to see the crazy crap that he would do.
Oh man! An Evening with Robin Williams, one of the best comedy concerts of all time. Just seeing him go from like 0 to 60 in about 3 seconds. I'm like, how did you do that?
Is that the one
amazing.
Is that the one where he does like the thing about golf, like how the Irish invented golf?
I don't think so.
That's one of my favorite bits by him ever.
It's manic. It's absolute manic and great, wonderful. He's just. I don't think he has a real bit. It's just like him just doing random shit for an hour and a half.
Like he plans out about 3 or 4 highlights.
Yeah.
Little touchstones throughout his set, but just spews out whatever's going on in his brain.
That felt like cocaine comedy is what that felt like.
It probably was.
Yeah, probably was. Oh man. All right, Brian, any question or anything else you want to do?
Yeah, all right. I really wish I would have gave you guys a heads up on this. Do you guys have like a pen, something you can write with, a pencil, a pen, anything?
Are you going to make us draw a box again?
Yeah.
No. I know what you're talking about. No,
that's an old
this
joke.
is
Got it. Yeah, I got a pen. I got paper. Do you want me to draw what you look like? Because it's just a circle.
No. It's just draw an egg, right? That's just me.
Exactly.
Right. No, but what I want you to do is I want you to envision sitting in your favorite theater.
Okay.
All right. So you're in your seat. It doesn't matter where it's at. It could be a drive-in.
What kind of theater are we talking?
Lots of butter, hole in the bottom.
Got it. Got it. No more.
There you go.
Aaron's favorite.
There you go. Exactly. The
Pee Wee Herman's next to me. Got it.
All right. So you're sitting there in your favorite seat in your favorite theater. You're looking at the screen, right? Yeah. And if you've got a piece of paper and it helps you visualize it, you've got this rectangle, right? If you want to draw some drapes off to the side, make it a little prettier, that's fine as well. So you're sitting there, you're looking at the screen. It's blank. The lights start to dim. All of a sudden, if you were a planet in the solar system, which one would you be? Scott, go first.
I hate you.
I'm going to stab you. I drew out the thing.
Show it for everybody.
I mean, it's not great, but.
No, it's not.
She did.
No, the curtains go to the side, Amanda, not over the top of it.
I couldn't.
It hides the picture when you do that.
I don't understand. You can't see the screen that way. It's just like, it's weird. Why would you do it that way?
It hides the movie.
That better?
That's better. That's better.
Much better. Wow, you drew that really fast. I feel like either I drank way too much or you're just really good at drawing because that was fast.
Well, I got a pen.
That was impressively fast. You probably just hit the undo button.
I did hit undo and
how much time has passed? How much time has passed?
I mean, it is on my phone, so it's not like I have a pencil.
Exactly.
Do you mean outside of Earth or are we counting Earth?
Yeah, we're counting just our solar system. All right. No Earth.
Okay.
If you were a planet, which one would you be? Mars.
Because apparently I can just get some potatoes and I'll be fine.
Well, clearly Saturn, Troy. Because everything revolves around me.
All right.
Wow.
John.
Jesus Christ.
Pluto.
Science joke.
Pluto. You just
dumb-
want to stay away. You just want to stay away from everybody,
Why? Because nobody recognizes you.
right?
Because of psych,
Sure, you're a
obviously.
planet.
There's a little bit of identity crisis going on there. Are you a planet? Are you not a planet?
Exactly.
Well, you
All
heard
right.
about Pluto, right?
Right.
Messed up.
It's messed up.
Amanda, what about you?
I don't know, man. I'm looking at pictures real quick to see which one I like.
When you're looking at pictures of planets to figure out which one resembles you the most.
most. It's not like a. There's no square footage.
Clearly,
Which
she's
one
retrograde
has the
because she's in
pool?
retrograde right now.
Jupiter's pretty. I like Jupiter.
Jupiter. It's got a giant eyeball.
or-
you got
or-
a big red. Have you got a giant red eye? Is that what it is?
Uranus.
It's Uranus. That was going to be my pick because
What?
I'm 13.
Oh, that's why I said the joke. Mine's still Jupiter.
Great big old brown eye on it. That's all.
That's going to be in Uranus.
Oh, El Stinka.
Oh.
All right, Brian,
All
you
right.
got an answer for your own question, or
Hey, you know what? I'll take Neptune. You know what? It's as pretty as Saturn, and it's got the rings and everything, but it's a little bit different because it's like on its side. So I'll go with that.
this question made no sense to me. All right, Stump the Hoe, John. We're going
Doesn't
back to
have to.
Stump the Hoe. We haven't had this one in a long time.
All right, so terrified by video piracy, the distributors of this 1982 classic released this home videotape in green plastic and not the standard black, letting buyers know that their hard-earned money was going to the original and not a bootleg. But this also had the side effect of breaking home entertainment sales records. What is the movie?
Wrapped it in green plastic?
E.T.
So instead of a
E.T.
wow, yeah, both of you are right.
What's it like to wish you were us?
Brian, I actually won this time.
I'm going to go with E.T.
I heard that. Congratulations.
I heard that. What'd you say, Scott?
I'm going to go with E.T.
Wait. I know this. E.T. E.T.
Yeah, and Amanda beat me by a second, so she actually won.
Yeah.
Well, see,
Good job.
Aaron went back in time and told me, so I saw ET in the theater. That's why I got it wrong.
Right.
Oh my God! What? I don't even understand you sometimes.
Troy.
All right, let's.
No home
I'm
movies.
shaking
No home
my head at
movies.
you.
Good for you,
home
Amanda. Though, congratulations.
Good job, Amanda.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Good job.
Good job, Dream Team.
All right. Last question? What's one thing you wish you had done? This is my question. What's one thing you wish you had done over the past decade you just didn't get around to? It can be anything. And we're going to go in order. Scott, what's the one thing?
I got to start?
Yeah, it's literally written down in your format. Scott.
Yeah, it says it on the format.
It is not on my
Slacker.
format, so...
Yeah, no, it's on all of our formats.
We all got the same one.
I don't think so.
Wait,
I
did
went
you
from
open
Stump
your
the-
format a couple days ago, or did you open it today?
I opened it today.
It really doesn't matter because
for
it's
the first
updated
time?
through Google Docs, and so it's
Let's just
Hey.
go, Scott. Scott, let's just go. You say you go first. What's your answer?
probably
What
that
would I-
haircut.
what do I regret not doing in the past 10 years?
No, yeah, what's one thing you wish you had done over the past decade that you just didn't get around to?
Did we break Amanda?
No, I did though.
What did you say? I didn't hear it.
I said that haircut.
Oh, shit.
My haircut.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was just what came to me, dude. It's
There
train of
was
thought.
something, somebody said, like, what's the first thing, something you gotta go, or that's gotta go. I don't
God damn
know.
it.
And he said
Scott, go. Answer.
Let's see. What is one thing I regret that I have not done? Boy, I don't really feel like I feel like I do everything I want to.
La-di-da.
No,
That's
no,
a good
no.
wife.
Yeah.
Well, within reason. Can we come
you
back
could have
to
just
me?
let your wife get the kudos on that.
Sure. let's
Right,
come back.
right. Yeah.
Let's come back.
I was trying to.
No. I
give her-
was giving
give
her
her
the
props.
kudos. That's the point.
Nope,
Like,
too late. You already burned her. All right. So let's go to Brian. Brian, we'll come back to Scott. We'll give him time to think.
Wow. So, like, as far as the last 10 years, honestly, it's, there's not much because the last half of that, I've kind of done whatever I've basically wanted to. And so, yeah, man, it's, on a lot of different levels, I'm living my best life right now. So,
All right.
yeah, man, it's I've made a lot of leaps in the last 10 years that I don't. It's basically I've pushed away the fear. I've kind of taken the approach that action trumps fear, and taking these leaps, and it's amazing the opportunities, the doors that have opened because of that. So there's really not much that I've regretted. There's a lot of shit in my life that I regretted not taking a chance for in the past. Mm-hmm. But as far as the last 10 years, I've said yes a lot more than I've said no, and that's opened up a lot of stuff.
All right, John.
I wish I'd taken my art a lot more seriously a lot sooner. Is probably the best thing I can come up with, because over the last 10 years, I've gotten exposed and been able to do a lot of very cool things with my artwork because of because I had somebody pushing me, or because I just said, screw it, let's go ahead and give it a try. But I wish 10 years ago that I made a bigger commitment than I did 10 years ago to it.
That's a good one. Amanda?
I did always want to go to Ireland, but I just, it didn't happen. And then
That's a good one.
I can make that happen. Just so you know.
You are going to make it happen one day. You will.
Wonderstruck Travel is available.
Wonderstrucktravel.com. Just so you know. Sponsored.
Yep.
No, whatever.
Amanda, I'm actually with
together.
you. Did you know I was actually planning to go to Ireland, like right before COVID hit?
Oh, wow.
Coincidentally, Scott, I can make that happen for you as well.
I did go to Ireland before COVID hit.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
It is freaking
screw
awesome.
you. The other
He didn't
component-
use Wonderstruck Travel, but
No, I didn't.
it would have been better.
The other component is something that I've struggled with for a while, is debating what direction to take my life in. And I'm still debating it to this day if it's something that I should do, and that is getting my clinical mental health counseling license and opening a practice. I'm young, though, so I feel like I still have a little bit of time to think about if I want to change courses, but I've also made such an investment already, partly in that direction, and then more recently in a different direction. So, I don't know. I do wish I would have done it when I was younger. Would have been easier.
You should do everything you want to do. Absolutely. Troy?
2 hours and 15 minutes into this thing, I am not going to wax deep philosophical crap right now. The one time in my life that I did not whore myself out and actually listened to Aaron's stupid ass advice.
Oh, boy.
I really wish I would have gotten a picture with Megan Boone.
Oh, God. I regret that so much, too. I do.
All of them. Him, her, John, James, all of them. Like, no, we can't do it because we're pressed. We can't do it. It's like, fuck you, Aaron.
Yeah, I thought it would have been rude.
Yeah.
It would have been
wrong.
rude.
I was wrong.
Trust me, I hear about that every South by Southwest trip. It's like, you gotta chill out the fanboy stuff. You don't, we can't do that.
Except the difference is that Megan Boone said, I'm so glad you guys are here. It's nice to actually have fans here at the thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, so she expected us to take pictures, and we didn't.
Yeah, I did.
She was probably offended.
Yeah,
Literally, that's really
way to
on
go,
you, though.
Aaron.
Hang on. That's on him.
No.
He never listens to me about anything.
Anything.
Like, he ignores
Yeah.
me. Ignores me.
The
But
one time.
no.
One time.
You didn't listen to me. You listened to me. You
So
listened
such
to
a
me about
horrible
Patreon
person.
this year too, and that was a great plan that I
God,
wish we
you-
would have done years ago. So actually, I'm wrong quite a bit.
Dream killer. It's fine. Whatever.
God damn it! I'm sorry.
Yeah,
man. I really
you should
feel bad.
be.
Your time isn't over. I guarantee you, if you guys reached out to her, you guys connected again, she would take a picture with you.
We had the in, and then she left
Yeah.
Twitter. She left Twitter, so we lost our in.
Yeah, we lost her in. We did.
Your in isn't really lost when you're still like BFFs with the creator of the show, who's literally on your Facebook page, Troy. I think he'll
literally
find
just
a
left.
way.
He left the show, Amanda. I don't know if we still have.
I think he still has a pretty good relationship with Megan Boone, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. We should probably work that out. We should go to
He's
New
probably
York
got our digits.
just for Troy's goddamn picture. Yeah,
Just go to New York, say, hey, we're in the area.
Yeah, I was just passing through, just like stalkers do. Yeah, I was just, I was nowhere in the neighborhood. I saw you were home because I looked in your window and thought you might be game for a picture. Mine is I would want to visit Australia or Europe. I love to travel, and I haven't been able to do that. In the last couple of years, I haven't been able to do anything. And I've always wanted to go to Australia or Europe. So there you go. There's my thing. Scott, back to you.
Really, the only thing I can come up with outside of travel, like you guys already talked about, is I've missed out on some collectible items. I have a pretty nice collection down here in my basement, and with COVID hitting and the stimulus checks, the market for collectibles has skyrocketed astronomically. And a game that I passed up on that was about $800, which is a lot of money, is now just sold for $2,000.
What?
And
like a video game?
Yeah.
From 25 years ago?
That you're going to put on your shelf and never play.
Oh no, my buddy bought a copy of it for that price, and we played it, and it's a phenomenal game. It's not
for
worth
$2,000 or
$800.
for $800?
He bought it for $800. But he bought it like man, it was like 2 or 3 years ago, and it's just like gone up astronomically in value.
Sell it.
It is becoming increasingly difficult to finish. I'm about 73 games away from completing this collection, and it's getting so hard because every one left on my list
Too far.
is over $100. So
Right, like, get some retirement money, goddammit. Go on vacation.
Right. You want those trips? Yeah. You want those trips? Sell Nintendo.
All right, guys.
I've missed on some great deals over the last year, though.
Yeah. No, a lot of this stuff skyrocketed.
For sure. But we're going to wrap this up because poor Troy has to go to Nashville tomorrow because I can't make it. So in closing, Troy, anything you want to say, you can swear, you can say whatever you want about the Hollywood Outsider 10 years. Anything you want to say. Go ahead.
I'm so glad it's fucking done.
Okay. Amanda.
I just share a brain with Brian, that's all.
Troy, fucking love you guys. You guys, and then the people listening, guys, gals.
Amen.
Johnny.
Fuck.
Yeah. I feel you, brother.
Scotty.
I love you all very much, and I still agree with Zach that video games are a better storytelling device than movies.
You're wrong. I was going to tell you I love you too, though.
Brian Williams, anything? Closing?
Nah, I'm good.
This fucking guy.
Classic Brian. Classic.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I want to say thank you to everybody that's listened now, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whenever it was you listened. If you enjoyed the show at all or told any single person to listen, I can't tell you how much it means to me. I really do appreciate it. It has been a long ride. It has been a wonderful ride. It's been a lot of memories. And, you know, some weeks there's definitely the times I don't want to do this at all. And there's some weeks where I think it's the best thing ever. And it's great therapy. And it's led to some of the best experiences and best friends of my life. So I want to say thank you to everybody that has been a part of this, whether you've been a host, whether you've been a listener, whether you've been someone I've just encountered because of something that the podcast led to. So that's all I want to say. Thank you so much. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I don't like to talk about me very much, but this has meant the world to me, and thank you. From here, from there, from everywhere.
You didn't thank your mom like you didn't in
God
your
damn it,
worst
Amanda.
image.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom.
It only took you 3 hours and 5 minutes to get to mom, but you know,
Yeah.
hey, yeah.
If it
what
wasn't
a crappy
for-
son you are.
Yes. When I won the award,
Jesus.
I forgot to thank my mother. My mother is literally the
Yeah,
reason
it's a
I
common
love
it's a common thread
movies.
apparently.
God. Thank you, Mom. Thank you for being the best human on the entire planet and telling me everything I needed to know about movies and teaching me that if you want to deal with life, sometimes you have to escape it. And that's what I do through entertainment. So thank you so much. And remember, the next time you go to a theater, buy popcorn.